Virginia Tech won the toss. They deferred. Florida State will get the ball first. Temperature is 42, the coldest game Florida State has played this year, just 55 degrees, so the Seminoles are going to have to make sure to keep that blood flowing. Virginia Tech will have no problem doing that in front of nearly 66,000. Brooks Abbott to kick it away, and he drives it short. LaMarcus Joyner will pick it up. And Joyner is not going to make it back to the 20-yard line. Jerron Gavea-Winslow makes the tackle. Here is E.J. Manuel. Manuel is second in the country in pass efficiency, the senior from the state of Virginia.
And a big, strong guy that's been in Jimbo's system for a number of years now. Really does a great job spreading the ball around. Really a mobile guy. Could run in a spread offense. He's that good, but has really improved this year. And this is going to be a big test against a really good Virginia Tech aggressive defense.
Devontae Freeman, the running back. Florida State opening with 4 wide receivers. Now, they've had this set in play, but they haven't opened in it this year. Manuel getting busy. His first pass is complete. Greg Dent makes the grab. Good pickup on first down. Bring up second and short as we have a look at the Seminole impact players, and there are plenty of them on defense. The bookend defensive ends, Werner and Carradine. Xavier Rhodes, a shutdown, lockdown corner. And then Devontae Freeman, after the injury to Chris Thompson, is one of the big play guys at running back. You'll also see James Wilder Jr. Freeman getting the start. He's explosive, went over 100 yards in the Seminoles' last outing against Duke. 2nd and 1. Freeman with his first carry. He has a first down up to about the 32-yard line. Now, Florida State much better running the football as their offensive line has started to mature. Top 15 in the country, nearly 235 yards per game. Virginia Tech not as good rush defense.
And I think the biggest difference between this Florida State offense and the previous 5 under Jimbo Fisher has been that offensive line you're talking about. They are big. They average 319 pounds per player, and they're going to try and maul Virginia Tech.
Back to Freeman. Devontae to about the 35-yard line. Bring up 2nd and about 7. Here is Jimbo Fisher. Fisher in his 3rd season as the Florida State head coach, taking over for Bobby Bowden. Worked as coach in waiting and offensive coordinator under Bowden. Prior to that, had been at LSU under Nick Saban and Les Miles. He's 27-9 as head coach of the Seminoles and has them in line to win the Atlantic Division, which they have done once in Jimbo's 1st season. Manuel was going for Dent for a 2nd time, but Greg couldn't hold on to it. 3rd and 7 coming.
And Bud Foster is going to bring some fun defenses, and he's going to bring some fun blitzes. And they dropped the big defensive tackle right here, Hopkins, back in his zone blitz. It looks like everybody's coming. Steps up in there, drops back. And I tell you what, you want to come across the middle and get 300 laid on you? Not many receivers are going to want any of that.
Well, E.J. Manuel's been very accurate this year throwing the football, but he hasn't always seen a lot of pressure. Bud Foster, Virginia Tech's defensive coordinator,
he likes it.
He's going to test them tonight. Expect a lot of pressure from the Hokies.
Manuel, plenty of time down the middle. It's a first down and more. Rashad Green has the catch, and the football's loose, and Dent fell on it for Florida State. Anton Exum is on the coverage, knocking it loose, but it'll be a big gain on 3rd and 7. Seminoles keep it alive. A pickup of 23.
A moment ago, we talked about the improved offensive line. Take a look at this pocket. Virginia Tech only rushing 2 defenders, trying to drop 9 guys into coverage. That gives a 6'5" quarterback and E.J. Manuel all day to look downfield. Nice job by the defense, gang tackling on Rashad Green, forcing a fumble. But you can't give E.J. that much time. They're going to have to dial up the heat more often.
Fumbles too, Jesse. A little bit of an issue for Florida State. They've lost 10 of them this year. A few more that they got away with. Manuel couldn't quite get down. He threw it deep, and there's going to be a flag pass interference against Exum as he was trying to keep up with Rodney Smith.
Florida State has to be able to take advantage of the size difference outside. Here, Rodney Smith, 6'6", ball underthrown. Anton Exum can't locate it.
Defense, number 1, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
And remember, guys, This is Virginia Tech defense that all season long has given up a lot of explosive plays, particularly in pass defense.
And the thing I like about that play is E.J. Manuel, he didn't have time to set his feet like he wanted to, but he knew where his one-on-one matchup was and just threw it up, let your big receiver make a play. Great job getting the ball out of his hands on time.
Going for Smith. Jimbo Fisher's talked about just what a grasp E.J. Manuel has on the offense this year. He's setting up everything in the running game for them, and he gets it to Devontae Freeman, who will pick up a couple. 2nd down and 8 coming. Luther Maddie on the stop.
Yeah, he has tremendous football IQ. He understands the intricacies of this offense. Protections, checks in the running game. He understands what route concepts defeat what coverages. And I think that's apparent when you turn on the tape. You see he's got more control this year at the line of scrimmage.
And I think he does a better job, too. I think Jimbo's done a better job building a shotgun offense more. Let him get in the gun a little bit more. He feels more comfortable in the offense in a shotgun formation where he can play a little bit more pitch and catch and do a little bit more spread concepts occasionally.
Part of the maturation process. Manuel not shy about letting Jimbo know what he wants, and what he wants is to avoid Bruce Taylor, and he cannot. And the Hokies bring the blitz, and the linebacker gets to him. It'll be 3rd and long.
We've seen a theme tonight. Bud Foster dialing up pressure on 2nd down. This time, middle linebacker Bruce Taylor going to line up all the way outside. There's nobody blocking. Nick O'Leary, the tight end, gets out in route protection. Devontae Freeman, the running back, does not scan backside. And that makes it the easy sack.
Yeah, and I think it's best to any quarterback you hit. The more you hit them early, the more they see ghosts. They see people coming from all different angles, and they're doing a good job right now getting some hits on E.J. Manuel that will pay dividends later.
Last 3rd down, Virginia Tech only brought 2 rushers. How many did they bring this time on 3rd and California?
Just gets the snap off. E.J. gets hit again, fired high for Rashad Green. It'll be 4th and long.
I love the call. Bud Foster learned his lesson. We're not going to let E.J. Manuel sit back, even if it is 3rd and long. Bringing an extra rusher than Florida State can defend.
I don't think he had a problem, except for twice on that drive not to. Look at Taylor trying to leap over Freeman. He's way up there. Get your hands up. You can catch that thing. But yeah, Bud Foster, he's done it throughout his whole career. He knows how to bring pressure and protect his guys on the back end, and doing a good job there, too.
All right, Florida State is lining up for a 52-yard field goal. Dustin Hopkins, one of the great kickers in the country, needs just 11 more points to become NCAA's all-time record holder for scored points by a kicker. Virginia Tech has to use a timeout, and Frank Beamer not too happy.
Yeah, he's got a
about
boot.
That.
He's got an absolute boot. I mean, this guy, you talk about Janikowski over the years, guys like that could really crush it. I was talking to him on the field before the game. They said he hit a 71-yarder in practice.
Wow.
That's insane. By the way, his gold shoes, he spray paints those before every game.
That's sweet.
That's pretty sweet.
But guys, you know, we had a chance to go on the field before the game. Lane Stadium is true home field advantage for this team. You see Frank Beamer here, a little bit upset. The substitution, getting on the field late. But, you know, it would be huge if Florida State on the road could get points here on its first drive, try and calm this crowd down a little bit. There's a reason Virginia Tech's won 15 of their last 16 here in this stadium.
Now Hopkins in warm-ups hit from this direction from 55. This one will be from 52. And Hopkins is money. And from 52 yards out, he's now 8 points short of the kicking scoring record. College football history, Dustin Hopkins connects to put the Seminoles up. Virginia Tech will have it for the first time when you come back. Virginia Tech has a rich military history here on this campus, and every morning 7:30 the Corps of Cadets gather and they walk in the flag. It is one of the great traditions that you'll see a little bit more of as we at ESPN are celebrating Veterans Week. Detail appreciation to our men and women in the armed forces serving our country. Of course, College Game Day going to be aboard the USS San Diego this weekend. And the military history evident here in Blacksburg as well. Dustin Hopkins, who just put Florida State on the board with a 52-yard field goal, will kick off. It will not reach the goal line. Dimitri Knowles has it across the 20, and he is knocked down there. That is where the Hokies will have it for the first time after Willie Halstead made the tackle. Logan Thomas 13 touchdowns this year, but a dozen interceptions. Ball security's been an issue for the big fella.
We're going to find out a lot about Logan Thomas's toughness tonight. Sam Steele talked about his injured ankle in the open. He's going to have to be able to move around, make plays against this athletic Florida State defense. But what about his mental toughness? Playing the worst game of his season last week at Miami. Can he bounce back against one of the elite defenses in the country with the entire country watching?
Moving the pocket and getting outside Tank Carradine and throwing it underneath for perhaps no gain whatsoever. Joey Phillips making the catch. It'll be 2nd and 10. The Hokies impact players. Marcus Davis, a freak at wide receiver, 4.37 in the 40, and then a couple of defensive guys. James Gale, an outstanding pass rusher. We've already seen Antone Exum, though his impact is not what he had hoped. He was called for pass interference on Florida State's first drive. A 2nd and 10 for Logan Thomas, and keep an eye on the line of scrimmage tonight as the Hokies offensive line, which has been rebuilt, tries to deal with Florida State, and the ball's on the ground, and Corey Fuller fumbled it, picked it up, went the other way, and the broken play is going to wind up being a first down.
Virginia Tech is going to try and get the football outside on the perimeter tonight against this aggressive Florida State defense here. Just a simple handoff, but it's a bad placement by Logan Thomas. You have to put that in the breadbasket. There he hits Fuller on the shoulder. Good thing Fuller ran track at Kansas. Shows you the speed once he picks that up.
2 years he ran track at Kansas before coming back to Virginia Tech to play football alongside his brother Kyle. And for the 2nd time in the first few minutes of the first quarter, Virginia Tech has to use a timeout. Frank looks a little frustrated. It's been that kind of year for the Hokies. They're trying to turn their season by knocking off the 10th ranked team in the land. Saturday Night Football presented by Windows 8 on ABC. Notre Dame remained undefeated after beating Pitt in triple overtime last weekend. They'll take on Boston College. Manti Te'o, Everett Golson coming off that victory. The Fighting Irish hoping for a little help, perhaps to stay in the national championship race. You can see the Irish 8 o'clock Eastern time on ABC. And certainly they're in it, but as we discussed on BCS Countdown over the weekend, it would appear that Notre Dame would need a couple of teams to lose among the Alabama, Oregon, Kansas State group. J.C. Coleman at running back. The crowd here at Lane Stadium not accustomed to being under 500 this time of year, almost sort of waiting on something positive to happen. Thomas going to try to do it, taking a shot. Marcus Davis is out there. Davis has it inside the Seminole 20. Davis beat Nick Wasom, a pickup of 53.
If you're going to beat Florida State's defense, you got to take advantage of one-on-one situations on the outside. That's what made NC State so successful in the second half against them. But look at this cushion Marcus Davis has. My goodness, you got 10 yards cushion. You're playing the deep ball. That cannot happen. You can't get bit deep like that. Marcus Davis, we talked about his speed's on another level.
Thomas, the blitz underneath to Coleman, and if he would have had time to put it right on JC, he might have walked into the end zone, but Vince Williams was putting the heat on.
What I loved about Logan Thomas on that last play, guys, he audible to this. It was a check with me at the line of scrimmage, gave Marcus Davis the signal, tapped his head and said, go downfield and get it. You know, for a receiver that's 232 pounds, he runs a sub-4 440, so he's able to eat up that cushion that, Dave, you were just talking about.
3 receivers top of your screen. Thomas going back to the bottom, and it'll be our second pass interference call of the night. This one going on Florida State's standout defensive back Xavier Rhodes.
How about the aggressive play calling by Virginia Tech in this game early? A lot of passes going right at Florida State.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. That is a spot foul, automatic, first down.
Xavier Rhodes, for most of this season, has been a shutdown corner, and his physicality is really one of his great attributes. A little bit too aggressive on that one.
There's Mark Stoops, the Florida State defensive coordinator, who has put together a unit that has piled up some gaudy statistics. Likes to bring the heat, a lot of different blitzes Logan Thomas will see tonight. They keep it on the ground. J.C. Coleman is stuffed by Vince Williams. That's what Vince Williams does best. He plays to run.
And that's bad news for Virginia Tech because the best red zone offenses in the country are great running offenses. They have not been a consistent running offense this year, and as a result, guys, their last 2 games, they've scored 1 touchdown in 6 red zone trips. Not good enough.
And that's, you talk about Logan Thomas's, taking a step back this past year. They can't run the football. Not near as effective as they used to. Every quarterback is better when they have a running game.
Tight formation, only Dyrell Roberts out wide. Logan Thomas has a little room to run. Thomas inside the 5, barreling his way into the end zone. I think touchdown Virginia Tech, but there is a flag down back at the 13-yard line. And this one's going to come back for the hold.
Wow.
Hold the fireworks. Hold the fireworks.
Wow.
Holding 71. Offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay the down.
Winston Painter, the right tackle, is called for the hold.
You're going to see Painter right here at right tackle. Coming off the line, it's a play-action fake, trying to hit the fullback in the flat. He's just got a hold of Anthony McLeod on his shoulder pad. That's an easy call for the umpire to make.
Watch the end, though. Ooh. You want some attitude? You think Logan Thomas wants to win this ball game? Joyner, you want some of 260?
We talked about his physical toughness, proving it right now.
Thomas trying to get it back, has to get rid of it before Werner closes in. Coleman got it, and Florida State ran it down. Christian Jones, it was a pickup of 3.
That penalty on Painter is a critical error, obviously, but guys, you have to realize when you play Florida State, you got to make these red zone chances count. Florida State allows 2 red zone trips a game. You're not going to get these chances too often, so when you get them, you got to score touchdowns.
Their percentage is sort of middle of the pack in terms of allowing scores in the red zone, but they've allowed the 3rd fewest trips. You don't get here often.
This is uncharted waters for most offenses.
3rd and goal. Thomas, rid of it too high, and that could have been picked off. Nick Waysome had a shot at the deflection. It'll be 4th and goal, and the Hokies now will try to tie it up with a field goal as Cody Journell comes on.
Accuracy is something that we're going to be watching all game long with Logan Thomas. Missed way too many easy throws last week against Miami. He's got to dial in against a Florida State defense that's going to try to make the windows very, very small.
The 35-yard attempt for Journell. He's been very good inside the 40, hitting 8 out of 9 this year. Journell. And we're tied at 3. Florida State marches down and gets stopped and had to try a field goal. Virginia Tech answers it halfway through the first quarter, locked up at 3 in Blacksburg.
ESPN College Football Primetime is served by Applebee's, proud to thank heroes 1 free entree at a time on Veterans Day, and in part by the Experience Buick Lease. It's a new lease on luxury.
One of the neat scenes here at Virginia Tech, ESPN's Veteran Week Salute to Service continues. Over 1,000 cadets gather every day here at Virginia Tech, 7:30 Eastern Time. Present the colors and raise the flag. The great military institutions in our country, still a strong military presence here at Virginia Tech. Strong football presence over the years, though this Hokie team already with 5 losses, their run of 8 straight 10-win seasons going to come to an end, but hoping to come up with 2 more wins in their last 3 games and extend their run consecutive bowl games to 20. Brooks Abbott kicks it away. LaMarcus Joyner has it. Oh, Joyner's got great speed and an alley. Joyner just across midfield. The Florida State offense in great shape and perhaps eager to get some more, Sam?
Sure is, Reese. During most of that drive, E.J. Manuel was working with his coaches on how to deal with all those pressures and different looks he was seeing. Jimbo Fisher came up during that time and said, hey, guys, if we can get him time to throw, we want to take some shots downfield. Promptly walked over to Rodney Smith and said, hey, can you run by him? He said, yes. He said again, hey, can you run by him? He said, yes. I guess we'll see.
if a receiver ever says no to that,
Have a
they're
seat,
playing the
pal.
wrong position.
And hopefully you're in a triple option offense.
Well, Rodney Smith is at the top of the screen, and Anton Exum is out there with him. And Jimbo Fisher does call the plays. E.J. Manuel is throwing, not for Smith, but for Greg Dent. And Dent runs by his man, and he gets it all the way down just inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Seminoles. Pickup of 41.
And if E.J. Manuel gets this football out further, it's a walk-in touchdown. You see they use a rub to allow Dent to get open. He runs right by both defenders. Ball grossly underthrown, but a great job coming back and fighting for it.
At the start of that play, Dietrich Bonner wasn't even lined up. You could see he was communicating with somebody else. The guy runs right by him. He's got to get set before he can even think about running with somebody.
Well, 1st and goal, Seminoles behind E.J. Manuel, who's hit 3 of his first 5 for 73 yards. Devontae Freeman finds nowhere to run. Devontae's going to lose a yard or so. It'll be 2nd and goal.
This is an area of the field, too. That size at wide receiver can be a big advantage. We've already seen Rodney Smith at 6'6". Kelvin Benjamin, another guy that can come in, who's 6'5", 240 pounds, throw those fade balls.
Now, as good as Florida State has been in the red zone, as you see here, away from home on the road, not as good. 14 red zone trips in 3 games on the road, only 6 touchdowns. That is well off their percentage overall for the season.
They got him one-on-one outside with Anton Exum. Bump and run.
Manuel firing the dart, and it is broken up by Dietrich Bonner, the man who was beaten on the long play to Dent. Now it's 3rd and goal, and one of the things Florida State guys wanted to make an emphasis of is the thing that hurt them against North Carolina State. Touchdowns, not field goals in this part of the field.
And that's a great job of coverage by Bonner to sit him and put him in a situation, Reese, now where 3rd and long, that looks good for your defense so you can get field goals. But Bonner wasn't lined up to start that play again. He's got to get in position first and then make a play.
This was a secondary that was completely reshuffled this offseason. They basically now have 4 starting corners in the back end for this defense.
And just outside the 10. Manuel throwing back, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Donovan Riley, and Virginia Tech rises up and denies Florida State.
Quarterback mentality in the red zone is touchdowns or checkdowns. You see Jimbo Fisher talking to his senior right there. E.J. Manuel does a nice job getting outside when the rush comes inside with Gale, and he just kind of pushes outside. Very hot throw to his tight end, Nick O'Leary, and if you're going to miss that, you got to miss it low.
Well, if he wasn't getting hugged either, it would have made a big difference, but tough play. Jimbo's not too happy.
Well, those high throws, when they get contested, oftentimes get popped up into the air, and that's the danger, throwing over the middle of the field high.
Might have been Kyle Fuller that got a hand on it. Logan Thomas pulls it. Logan, a good pickup on 1st down, gets it out close to the 15-yard line. It'll be a couple of yards short, maybe a yard and a half short of the 1st down. And see how well Virginia Tech has done. Intercepting passes, 237 since 2000 under Bud Foster. It's their 10th of this year. It was Riley's 1st. Logan Thomas, that was almost picked off. It was Bjorn Warner, that will be his 6th pass breakup of the year. He does that extremely well.
It reminds me a lot of J.J. Watt from the Houston Texans with his ability to get his hands up. He's very smart. He understands if he's not going to get to the quarterback, slows his rush down, tries to anticipate the release, and gets his hands up.
Yeah, remember, everybody coming into the season was talking about him and Brandon Jenkins on the other side. Now you talk about Tank Carradine on the other side. This is the 3 best defensive ends in college football all on one team playing together. They got a pretty amazing trio before when the season started.
Thomas slant, too far out in front of Kevin Asante. Asante had a little running room, but Virginia Tech faces 4th down.
It's another example of a throw that Logan Thomas has to hit. Critical down and distance, 3rd and short. You got a receiver on a slant, it's wide open. Put it on his body, give him an opportunity to get that.
It looked like it might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. It looked like McAllister might have got a finger on it to mess it up. Not that I want to defend the quarterback, Jesse, but
You never defend quarterback.
he might have got a hand on it.
A.J. Hughes left footer.
Fair catch at the 45-yard
line. The catch was Hunter, a 41-yard punt. No return, and the Seminoles, after the interception, able to come up with a stop. E.J. Manuel firing it into traffic to see if the Hokies can come up with another defensive stop. Celebrating its 8th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed more than $2.9 million in scholarship money. Florida State is forced the first punt of the game, and the Seminoles have had the better of it in field position. They take over now their own 45, their average starting position, their own 38. Turned it over in the red zone the last time they had it. James Wilder Jr., the running back, alongside E.J. Manuel. Manuel fires. There was a lot of contact over there, but I don't see a flag. It was Antone Exum covering Kelvin Benjamin, the big freshman wide receivers. We check in with Scott Benpelt. Hello, Scott.
What do you say, Reese? Sun Belt tonight. Jonesboro, Arkansas, a good one. It's Arkansas State, Louisiana Monroe. Both teams are 6-3. It's 17-10 Arkansas State. This is how Arkansas State got on the board. Ryan Applin with a touchdown here. Your Dr. Pepper 10 conference update. Get a 7-point lead.
All right, Scott. Keep an eye on that one tonight here in the ACC. Florida State, Virginia Tech. And 2nd and 10. Wilder has it. Wilder's a load. He gets just into Virginia Tech territory. Pickup of about 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
We talked about E.J. Manuel and how smart he is with respect to his football intelligence. Well, that intelligence is getting tested against Bud Foster's defense tonight. Virginia Tech likes to line up in a lot of very exotic looks. They bring a lot of exotic pressures. It's almost like the flavor of the week. They don't have that many tendencies with respect to their blitzes. It's going to be sharp tonight. They're going to have success.
Manuel 21-5 as a starter for Florida State. 3rd and 4, and Manuel fires it over the head of Lonnie Pryor. So we've seen both quarterbacks in the early going, whether it's adrenaline or just plain old inaccuracy, miss a couple of throws, and Florida State now looking at a 4th down from the Virginia Tech 49-yard line. Jimbo with one of his quarterbacking pupils, and of course Jimbo Fisher, top quarterback coach. He's guided Jamarcus Russell for a while, and Jamarcus had great success at LSU, by the way. Christian Ponder developed him into an NFL quarterback, and I think most scouts believe that E.J. Manuel, too, will play in the NFL, perhaps someday as a starter. It's Kason Beatty. It's a very short punt. He's been adept this year at pinning opponents inside the 20. He had a great opportunity to do so this time, but he did not. A 25-yard punt means Virginia Tech will get it on the 24. Here's Bruce Smith, the 1984 Outland Trophy winner at Virginia Tech. I don't think there's any question about Bruce's allegiance tonight. However, his godson is E.J. Manuel. It was E.J.'s dad coached Bruce in basketball back in the day. E.J. Manuel coming out, and there's E.J.'s dad, coming out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Eric Manuel's son was one of the most highly touted guys in the country. Logan Thomas was a guy who thought he was going to play tight end in college with that big arm. Otherwise, Logan Thomas is picked off. It is Tyler Hunter, the sophomore from Valdosta, Georgia, and we have dueling turnovers. Each quarterback's now thrown a pick.
There's no way to defend this. It's pretty simple. It's man-to-man coverage. You see a crosser coming right across the field. It's a really, really bad pass. Good protection, bad throw. Florida State creates a turnover, which they haven't done a lot of. Look at this. Fuller's open.
But let's also give Tyler Hunter a lot of credit, showing you his speed from the strong safety position, able to undercut that throw and make the interception. Big time. Something that they haven't had a lot of. Reese, you mentioned it earlier. Not a lot of turnovers so far for Mark Stoops' unit. That's a big turnover here early.
It was only their 7th interception of the year. Of course, the other team doesn't get many plays. They usually go 3 and out against him. Wilder slips a couple of tackles And a lot of pressure coming in. Alonzo Tweedy making the stop. Tweedy's going to play a good bit more than he has. He's a special teams wrecking ball, but Bud Foster planning to use him in a lot of blitz situations tonight.
He's a little bit more undersized. Remember, Bud Foster does so much. Maybe not a versatile guy that can pick up everything they do. Not the greatest against the run, but you start to see him blitz. Really good athlete, can cause some havoc, and that's what he specializes in. That's what he'll be doing this game.
EJ underneath, complete. Wilder caught it out of the backfield, gets it inside the Virginia Tech 30. Pickup of about 7.
You know, it was a huge loss against Miami when their starting tailback, Chris Thompson, went down with an ACL, but Florida State has tremendous depth at the running back position. Whether it's Devontae Freeman or James Wilder Jr., Lonnie Pryor, the fullback, not only are all three of these guys great runners, but they're great pass catchers as well. Chris Thompson was on pace to be the first 1,000-yard back Florida State had since Warrick Dunn did it in '96. But tremendous depth has allowed this offense to keep chugging along.
Can't replace that guy, though.
All right, Florida State is in field goal range. Clock is getting up against them. And Florida State's going to have to use a timeout.
Timeout on the field. Florida State. This is a 30-second timeout.
I think EJ didn't see something that Jimbo thought he should have seen. Maybe it was just simply the play clock. Florida State just 1 of 4 on 3rd down. I mentioned they're well within Dustin Hopkins' range for field goals. Now, we talked about the importance of scoring touchdowns when you have chances. 4-down territory already for Florida State, or how would you play this?
You know, no, with the field goal kicker I have and the defense I have, I take the points if I'm Jimbo Fisher. This is a cold weather game. You don't expect kickers to make a lot of kicks in this type of weather, but considering what you have, if you don't convert this, go ahead and kick it.
Well, it depends. If you get me to 4th and short, I might like my chances a little bit more. But yeah, he's got those gold shoes and they work. I mean, he can boot it. I'd let him use it if I can, especially because I just got a gift off of a turnover. You know, I didn't drive down the field and I'm coming up short. I got a gift and only got 6 yards so far in this possession.
Formation would indicate we're not interested in running it twice to try to get the first down. Got them all spread out. EJ gets rid of it. He has his man, and he has the first down. Rashad Green making the grab.
You know, we just talked about the interception thrown by Logan Thomas, guys. Ball security is going to be huge tonight for both of these offenses, particularly, though, for Florida State, I think. Playing in cold weather, you're not used to doing that. In your last 2 games, you've had 9 fumbles combined against Miami and Duke. Tonight, you've already put it on the ground once. You've already thrown an interception. You got to settle down, take better care of the ball.
And a flag flies and a false start.
False start, 75, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
And Cameron Irving, a converted defensive end. The coach is James Coley, the offensive coordinator, believing that this guy, an athletic guy, is starting to come into his own, but wanted to get started a little early that time.
They definitely got some really good athletic offensive linemen on that Florida State unit.
Well, sophomores and juniors, too. It's scary for the rest of the ACC in the country. Wilder is hitting the backfield. He didn't get any blocking done that time. Tweedy was back there. Hopkins, Antoine Hopkins was back there. 2 Hopkins, Antoine and Derek on the defensive line for Virginia Tech.
Very impressed tonight, guys, with Virginia Tech's run defense, the physicality up front. We mentioned Florida State. This is the biggest offensive line in school history, almost 320 pounds a guy. Virginia Tech undersized against this offensive line, but right now, they're playing aggressive. They're playing tough.
And you see them, they're slanting, they're moving around, they're coming off the edge, they're blitzing. They're doing a lot of different things. They're not just a sitting target where you know where they're going to be at every time.
2nd down and 16. Manuel underneath has a completion. It's Rodney Smith. Smith's caught a pass now in 35 straight games. That's just 3 short of the Florida State record. E.J. Green caught a pass in 38 straight.
E.J. Manuel is on pace to be the most accurate quarterback in ACC history, and I think the reason why, he makes quick, decisive decisions. On that one right there, wanted to go downfield further with the football, but when the underneath throw presents itself, you take what the defense gives you right now.
a 3rd and long as we wind down in the final seconds of the first quarter. Seminoles now 2 for 5 on 3rd down. Manual pressure coming from behind. It's Tweedy, and then he got some help. Tweedy didn't hit him, but Jack Tyler did. And Bud Foster's defense dialing up another sack, a loss of 7 as we come down to the end of the first quarter. About this inspired performance by the Virginia Tech defense. Hokies just 4 and 5. This could be one of those season-salvaging victories. We're only a fourth of the way through. Florida State has been moving the ball. Jimbo wanting to make sure EJ's locked in. We'll see what the Noles do when you come back. EJ Manuel going over what went wrong. EJ's been sacked a couple of times. Florida State's going to have to try a field goal again. Seminoles and Virginia Tech tied at 3. Dustin Hopkins is already connected from 52 yards out. This one will be 46, 45 officially, but he's behind that 35-yard line. Hopkins is 19 of 23 on the season and trying to give the 10th-ranked Noles the lead. Hopkins boots it up right down the pike. And the Seminoles have a couple of field goal drives, and Hopkins, by the way, now just 5 points short of being the leading scorer in NCAA history among kickers. Needed 11 coming into the night. Virginia Tech about to get the ball back, and every week Virginia Tech honors a Hokie hero. That's an alum who is serving or has served in the military. This week, it's Captain Mark Amos from the U.S. Air Force. He's currently stationed in Southwest Asia, a member of the 908th Expeditionary Air Refueling Squadron. Don't know if Captain Amos is getting a chance to watch tonight, but if he is, we wish him the best and thank him and everyone in the armed forces for their service. We want to ask you to join ESPN in our support of the troops and their families. Go to www.uso.org/ESPN to grant a wish for our military heroes. What we're trying to do is raise some money, grant wishes for those as we approach the holiday season. Great time to remember those who are serving their countries. But had the election this week, patriotic time as everybody makes their opinion known, and then Veterans Week that ESPN is celebrating all week long. Good time to gain some perspective and help if you can by going to that website. Dustin Hopkins responsible for all of the Florida State points. He's about to kick it away to J.C. Coleman and Dimitri Knowles. That's J.C. See an explosive freshman running back. See if Hopkins gives him a chance. It will be Knowles instead. Knowles going to stay in the end zone, and Virginia Tech will have it on the 25 as we go back to the studio in Scott Van Pelt.
Free Sports Center right now, brought to you by Coors Light, some hot stove. Walt Weiss played for the Rockies, 94-97. The '88 American Rookie of the Year is named the Rockies' new skipper. And from USC, a manager has been fired, and USC's been fined $25,000. Apparently, a manager just went off the reservation, just went ahead and took some air out of the footballs, all on his own.
That's one of the odd stories. The idea was he didn't make them flat, but apparently he
wasn't
took
flat.
He took some of the air out of the ball, a little bit easier to throw, a little bit easier to catch.
No, that quarterback's best friend.
Quarterback's best friend can also be a running game, and Virginia Tech hasn't been able to start one of those. Old Tank Carradine swallowed J.C. Coleman.
You set the edge like a man. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Jess.
Go.
He's a fun guy to watch. I mean, a guy that came in 3rd on the depth chart, wasn't supposed to play a ton. He was going to get his reps, but just has balled out this season.
Logan Thomas pulls it down. Thomas across the 30. He's going to be just short of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Xavier Rhodes hit him along with Christian Jones.
Very impressed with Logan Thomas's toughness. We talked about the ankle injury, guys. He carried it 22 times last week against Miami. taking some big shots early in this one. You don't expect him to carry it as often, but guys, he's going to have to make plays. Your best players have to touch the football when you play this type of defense.
Hokies haven't converted on 3rd down yet. J.C. Coleman, you're not going to convert here.
That's
Vince
just tough.
Williams stopped it.
That's just so tough to swallow that I got a 260-pound, 6'6" quarterback, but I want to give it to my little 5'8", 190-pound freshman. You know, you want to see him get the ball in that situation. That's my best opportunity to be successful. You pick up an extra blocker. I mean, that's why the fans aren't happy right now. You want to see the ball in his hands.
Especially against the defensive front, Davey, that's so big. I mean, we talk about Werner and we talk about Carradine, but Anthony McLeod and Everett Dawkins are both over 300 pounds inside. You need any advantage you can get in critical down and distances running the football.
So A.J. Hughes will have to punt it away. Tyler Hunter put it on the ground, and Virginia Tech recovered the muff. Josh Trimble was there, and this has been an issue for Florida State. In fact, they changed from Rashad Green to Tyler Hunter. They thought he was more sure-handed, but Hunter put it on the deck, and Virginia Tech gets it back.
When Greg Reed got booted off the team, I didn't think it'd be the cornerback spot where you'd miss him the most. You thought it'd be the punt return game. This has been huge for Florida State all year long. They returned one for a touchdown in the past couple of weeks, but you just got to catch the football.
We talked about ball security, guys. Already, Florida State now, 2 turnovers, almost had 3 playing on the road. This has been a huge issue for them in the second half of the season.
Now we have to see if Virginia Tech can take advantage. Hunter coming on the blitz. He's picked up. Thomas taking a shot. Got a man out there and is just out of the reach of Tyrell Roberts. Ronald Darby, the freshman, was running with Roberts.
You know, I like this from Logan Thomas because you have to question his confidence right now. Here's a guy that missed a lot of throws here in recent weeks. He's thrown an interception early in this game. The quarterback position is the toughest position in team sports. You have to play it with conviction. You can't get gun shy. You can't start trying to guide the football. Logan Thomas has to keep pulling the trigger, and I like him doing that in this game right now.
Pollock always says defensive end is the toughest position in team sports.
When you're getting triple teamed like Jordan Werner and Carradine.
Tony Gregory hit in the backfield and knocked down. It's Telvin Smith. It'll be 3rd and long.
You know, guys, Florida State's defense, everyone talks about the pass rush, but they're predicated upon stopping the run first and setting up 3rd and long. Linebackers that get through creases, athletic, making open field tackles like
Why do they get through creases? Because the big boys up front command respect and keep guys off of them. Don't slight the big boys up front.
This is why this defense leads the nation in 30 and outs, because they set you up in 3rd and long.
Hokies need to get at least some of it back to try to get a field goal. Thomas completed it just before he was hit to Gregory. Gregory gets it down to maybe the 26-yard line. It'll be 4th down. That would leave the field goal to be about 43 yards.
And we talked about Tank Carradine coming into this. You see him right here. We got him ISO'd. Watch him. Great job jabbing inside and then using that long arm wingspan he's got, getting over the top of the tackle. Nice little swim move. By the way, to start the season, he was their 3rd best defensive end.
Great toughness by Logan Thomas to stay in the pocket, get that completion on a check down because you allow yourself an opportunity to kick a field goal and tie the game.
If Jernell makes this, it will be his longest field goal of the season. From 43, Cody has it on the way, but it is wide to the left. So Beamer's team unable to take advantage of the turnover in special teams as Jernell can't knock it through, much to the chagrin of the Gobbler, the Hokie. Beamer hoping to get something out of that turnover. He couldn't. His team still trails by 3. Spirit still high at Lane Stadium. Virginia Tech hanging in there against number 10 Florida State, but the Hokies just missed a golden opportunity after a muffed punt, got the ball in the Seminole 40. They moved it 4 yards, missed a field goal. So now the question becomes, how demoralizing is that to a team that's sort of on the brink, teetering from a confidence standpoint at 4 and 5 against the 10th ranked team in the country? Option, manual, nothing. maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Luther Maddie first to hit him.
I never liked that play. Into the boundary, running an option. It takes away the, if you pitch it great, you're in close relationship to the quarterback. There's not a lot of space. E.J. Manuel's a great athlete, but into the boundary, not a fan.
To answer your question, Reese, it's extremely demoralizing. Florida State forced a 3-and-out. They punt, they muff a punt, and then they force another 3-and-out again. And remember, guys, when you're forcing 3-and-outs, that means the other defense has to play more snaps to get on the field. Florida State's going to try and take advantage of that, wear him down later.
Manuel, the man in his face, and Antone Exum is working on Kelvin Benjamin. And Benjamin is a physical specimen at 6'5", 242, but Exum was up to the challenge on that play.
Exum's not a bad specimen either, 6'1", 220 for a corner. But a lot of man-to-man on the outside by both these units. Big plays to be had down the field if you can protect up front.
Virginia Tech's not going to be outdone by anybody tonight. And I'm most impressed, guys, with their run defense so far. They've held Florida State to -3 rushing yards in this game, made them one-dimensional early. That's surprising.
And a couple of sacks contributing to that total. They've already matched their output in tackles for loss. Manuel going to try to get a whole bunch of it back, but he let his man too far out of bounds. He was looking for Christian Green. And Virginia Tech forces a 3-and-out. Got a little defensive struggle going on here at Lane Stadium.
But
Foster doesn't mind it.
No, he's loving it. He's put together a great game plan. Tonight, guys, matching up, mix and matching. Different coverages. We've seen zone pressures. We've seen bump and run man-to-man. They've been aggressive. They're trying to challenge E.J. Manuel, make him throw footballs into tight areas. No easy completions tonight.
Kason Beatty gets it out. Tyshawn Jarrett watches it. And then it takes a Virginia Tech bounce. Florida State will touch it dead just outside the 40-yard line. A 34-yard punt. The Hokies have it back when you come back.
ESPN College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Experience truly great engineering today at your authorized dealer. And Wrangler. Nothing beats Wrangler comfort. Wrangler. Real comfortable jeans.
This is Virginia Tech Precision Military Marching Unit. It's known as the Gregory Guard. They're a proficient, silent armed drill team, meaning they perform these routines without vocal commands. There's no way I could get my two partners to do anything without vocal commands, sometimes sternly. Brandon Flowers, a former Virginia Tech Hokie. You might have heard some of the current players talk about in the pregame what it's like to run out of that tunnel. And Brandon said, man, what I would give to run out of that tunnel for Beamer one more time. Tell you what, Frank would take him right now.
No doubt he would.
He might want out of the Chiefs, too.
Defense hasn't been the issue, though, for Virginia Tech. Hokies keeping it on the mound with J.C. Coleman. Coleman, good pickup on first down.
See, Virginia Tech doing a nice job placing the football in different areas along the line of scrimmage tonight against Florida State. Quick screens outside. They've tried jet sweeps to wide receivers, conventional runs using ball fakes. They want to try and create gaps and force Florida State to make tackles in space.
Thomas, a little half roll, throws it behind Coleman, 3rd and 5.
Because of the pass rush that Florida State has, Virginia Tech has to move the pocket. We've seen this a couple times as well. You got to move the launch point to give Logan Thomas a chance. You got to hit that throw.
Yeah, and there's two sides to that, though, Jesse. I think when you do roll the pocket as a defender, it also cuts off half the field because you're not throwing back across the field, so linebackers can scrape pretty fast. But it takes away Warner if you roll away from him. If you roll away from Carradine, it takes away him.
Virginia Tech has yet to convert on 3rd down. Little mix-up. Logan Thomas got away from Tank Carradine for just a moment. Everett Dawkins was there, so too was Kelvin Smith. And the Hokies are now 0 for 5 on 3rd down.
And Carradine got just enough upfield. That's a read play where E.J. Manuel's reading him. If he comes to take the quarterback, then he's going to give it. If not, he's going to keep it. And you could see, because he got upfield so fast, it caused him for a little bit of indecision. And Carradine was like, thank you, I'll take that. Tackle for a loss.
Tyler Hunter with the last punt on the ground. He's back again to receive for Florida State. A.J. Hughes driving one toward the corner, and What a beautiful kick from A.J. Hughes. Let's see where they're going to mark it. The official will stop at the 8-yard line. So Hughes with the 44-yard punt, knocking it dead inside the 10. How are the Seminoles dealing with this chilly night in Blacksburg, Sam?
Yes, Reese, this is the obligatory "it's cold down here" report, but things are a little bit different for Florida State. They're prepared. They haven't played a game under 55 degrees all season. So they rented benches that are heated. I just talked to the guy who's the owner of the company. He said he can get it up to 110 degrees. It's about at 85, 90 right now. But I was on the Virginia Tech sideline too. Those guys are cold too. Cold is cold, guys.
Let's see if they'll let you have a seat on that thing, Sam. E.J. Manuel firing out and looks for Rodney Smith. And then a flag comes in late.
Wow.
Antone Exum's been called for pass interference once tonight.
Antone Exum, a guy that got picked on last week against Miami a lot downfield. That's strange. We got a holding penalty. Yet a flag was thrown in the secondary.
Yeah. Let's see what Ron Cherry has.
Holding, number 1 on the defense. That's a 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So Antone Exum, 225 pounds. Davey mentioned earlier, he's a big guy, and I think Florida State feels like they can get lighter receivers down past him.
Put it this way, I understand why he feels like that, because I sure as heck didn't see the hold.
I didn't see it either.
Especially if it was at the end. If it was earlier or something, then maybe so, but certainly not at the end. Second penalty, 25 yards against Virginia Tech. Devontae Freeman hit in the backfield, and Virginia Tech was ready to go.
Mr. Hopkins, he brought his lunch pail, didn't he? He's ready to roll.
Derek Hopkins is known as being a great run stuffer. Just going to see him inside. Just get a great jump off the ball. Beats a double team, splits it, and makes the play in the backfield, guys. Again, another example of Virginia Tech out-muscling Florida State at the point of attack, shutting down the run game. There's that lunch pail, Davey.
Yeah. They got beat up, isn't it?
Wood Collar coming to work. Had that thing here since the mid-90s. He's come to represent the type of team that Frank Beamer historically has put on the field. They try to run it with Freeman again, and James Gale is there to greet him right in the mustache. 3rd and long.
If I'm Florida State right now, I stop running these slow-developing counter-run plays because Virginia Tech's just getting way too much penetration at the point of attack. Trying to pull the backside guard and tackle. You see Gale just eats it up.
Well, they do a lot of zone blocking, and if you penetrate quick, you can make some creases and make them go. And you know what? I think that's where you miss a guy like Chris Thompson, because that's a guy that can jump in and out of a hole in a heartbeat. Great job by Virginia Tech up front, making penetration and making big plays happen.
The Hokies have 9 tackles for loss in this game already. They average just under 7 per game coming in, and they get another one. Manuel gets away from Jack Tyler. E.J. still on his feet up to the 15, and finally he's dragged down by Dietrich Bonner. And the Hokies again applying big-time heat to the Seminole quarterback.
Pressure historically has bothered E.J. Manuel. Bud Foster knows that because he played him in the 2010 ACC title game and had success with it. Florida State struggled against NC State, and they're 1 loss this year to zone pressures, and Bud Foster dialing it up often. It'll be interesting to see how Jimbo Fisher and this offense are going to find a way to handle it.
2 guys back to receive the punt. Kyshawn Jarrett. Kyshawn was fighting that thing just a little bit, and the flag comes in at the end. Maybe the Seminole coverage team a little too close, but we will see.
On the return, have a block in the back, 82. A 10-yard penalty, first down. Timeout on the field.
That was Willie Byrne, who was back there with Jarrett. He was trying to protect his punt returner and got called for a penalty instead. Virginia Tech down by a field goal. Will have it back in the second. Maggie Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. Friday, we've got college basketball tipping off on ESPN, 5:30. Michigan State taking on UConn. It's coming to you from the Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany in honor of our men and women serving in the military in the Sears Armed Forces Classic. And then Maryland and Kentucky in the Barclays Center Classic, a new group of freshmen for John Calipari. 5:30 and 8:30 are the games. The Hokies throwing it too high for Tony Gregory. By the way, that last penalty on the punt return should have been called on Gregory. He was the guy who got the block in the back. The official had the wrong number on it, but we'll forgive him. And here's what you're going to see from Germany. Hannah Storm, Andy Katz, Kevin Nagandi in there with the Huskies as they're celebrating the start of the season.
Kevin Nagandi looks like he's 5'4".
But Billis is definitely not 5'4". He and Schulman aboard the C-130. They'll have the call from Germany. A short gain on second down for Gregory. It'll be 3rd and long for the Hokies.
You know, I'm watching Logan Thomas on that last pass on first down, guys. Tank Carradine and Bjorn Werner affect a quarterback with that pass rush. There's not a snap that goes by that Logan Thomas is not thinking about them. He knows if he does not get rid of the football in 3 seconds or less, he's potentially risking a sack or a turnover. You can see the clock going off in his head.
Well, I would look to number 7 because Davis is your freak on the outside that can beat man coverage. Get it to it.
Thomas throwing for Fuller. First down. Fuller still on his feet. It's the first 3rd down conversion of the night as Corey Fuller beat LaMarcus Joyner.
Logan Thomas has the arm strength to make throws that 95% of quarterbacks in the National Football League cannot make. But this time, nice job taking a little bit off it. And this is a big league throw. Crossing route into double coverage with the safety converging. Beautiful pass.
And how about this, guys? Coming into the night, Florida State had given up only 7 pass plays of 30 yards or longer whole season. They've already given up a couple tonight. It's accounted for most of Logan Thomas's passing yards. Hokies in Florida State territory again. Gregory on the ground, pushing it inside the 30-yard line. Pick up of maybe 4 before Christian Jones stopped it.
And the hard thing is, the reason that stat looks so good, Reese, is it can be contributed to great DBs. Like, you can talk about that all day with Deion Sanders back in the day, but you can also attribute that to Tank Carradine and also to Bjorn Werner. When you got guys in Dawkins, when you got guys on that can rush the quarterback and put pressure on him, you usually don't have to cover guys for 3 and 4 seconds down the field.
Coleman is back. Pitch goes to him. JC almost had an alley, but old Tank was there to make sure it wasn't too much of a gain. 3rd down coming.
We talk about Carradine's ability rushing the passer. The most impressive thing to me, guys, is his motor, the energy he puts in each and every play, and that's why he's 2nd on the team in tackles as a defensive end. Because of that kind of effort you just saw right there. Football gets outside, chase it down, make a play.
Those 8 sacks that are tied for 1st in the ACC, they're tied with Werner, his buddy. Thomas, Fuller has a 1st down. That was on the money from Logan Thomas, and Corey Fuller has had a couple of big plays on this drive.
It's the 2nd time in this game they've tried to go to Fuller very quickly over the middle of the field, and here's that arm strength we talk about with Logan Thomas. Cock the football back, and that is a bullet put right on the numbers. Those are the types of throws he's capable of making. That's why a lot of draft experts thought he'd be a top 5 pick at the start of the year.
Red zone time.
Ball just outside the 12. Gregory inside the 10. Joyner there to stop him after a pickup of 6. 2nd and 4 coming.
And this is where they've stalled. I mean, they've got down the field so many times. They had so many opportunities in the red zone, especially the past 2 weeks. They got to take advantage of it. And I think Logan Thomas has to run the football more down here.
Well, he had a touchdown call back earlier in this game because of a hold against Painter.
Well, yeah, score without cheating, Reese.
Well, Davey, this is an area of the field again where I think your guy you talked about, Marcus Davis, has to be a guy.
Yeah.
And here he is right here at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one, lined up. It's a bigger matchup. You got to take that.
I'll keep it on the ground. Gregory, can he get to the edge? Not quite. Chased down by Vince Williams, and the Florida State linebacker had enough speed to keep Gregory from getting into the end zone.
So they have unbelievable athletes and 1st-round picks playing on the defensive line. Well, what about a middle linebacker in Vince Williams that weighs 250 pounds and runs like that? Good luck.
That's nice to have inside out to the football.
Oh, Michael Caine had that play called just right. They had it blocked fairly well. Guy just outran him. What are you going to do?
How many trips you going to get here? You get maybe run it twice or?
3rd and 2. They'll throw to the corner of the end zone. It was Fuller. Touchdown, nice. Virginia Tech. How about the play on that drive from Corey Fuller? He's got 3 catches, 52 yards, in the first touchdown of the game.
And how about the throws by Logan Thomas? He should be feeling it right now because he's on fire. They ran a wheel route from the slot. This is very well covered, but you know, Fuller does a great job not extending his arms till the last moment. That doesn't allow the cornerback to get a break on it, put his hands up and knock it down.
Jernell for the extra point. It is true. A 9-play, 68-yard drive. Took a little over 4 minutes off the clock. And Virginia Tech sitting a game under 500, facing the 10th-ranked team in the land, and they have a 10-6 lead here in Blacksburg. Nearly 66,000 in Lane Stadium might have been a little skeptical for a while, but deep in the first half, after the Hokies score a touchdown, they're starting to believe. They're starting to show a little muscle, throw that weight around. And while Hokie Nation is, whoa, keep that thing balanced.
That looks like me on the bench press, with much less weight.
You know, as we await the kickoff, while Hokie Nation is delighting in this lead, and it is early, you think Virginia Tech might have some fans in Clemson, South Carolina? Would give the Tigers the lead in the ACC Atlantic. Carlos Williams looking for the edge on the punt return. He's knocked out of bounds by Tweedy, just short of the 30 and not too far away from halftime. We'll say hi again to Scott Van Pelt.
Reese time for SportsCenter right now, brought to you by Coors Light. Regis Jesuit High School. Mike Reese knows the school doesn't know how good their baseball program is. Walt Weiss was the man in charge there. Now he's the man in charge for the Colorado Rockies. He takes over where he played from '94 to '97. And USC blown out by Oregon last week and fined $25,000 after a manager apparently took a little air out of their football to make it a little easier to grab a hold of and throw.
What he should have done is found a way to get a couple extra defensive guys on the field for USC. Kelvin Benjamin makes the grab from E.J. Manuel. Michael Cole on the tackle, pick up at 13. I alluded to the ACC standings. Florida State and Clemson tied at 5-1, but the Seminoles won the head-to-head meeting. Tigers need the Noles to lose. That's in the Atlantic. The Coastal is a complete mess. Miami plays Virginia this week. Hurricanes, of course, beat Virginia Tech last week. It's still completely unclear who's coming out of that side.
Clemson's last 2 conference games against Maryland and NC State at home, they're feeling pretty good about themselves.
E.J. Manuel is another tackle for loss for the Hokies. Kyle Fuller making the tackle. That's Corey Fuller's brother, and the Fuller family having a big impact on the Noles.
Kyle Fuller used to doing that last year as a nickel corner, led the defense in tackles for loss. He's very aggressive coming from the top of the screen on a corner blitz. You know, if I'm Florida State offensively, you may want to start thinking about max protections or maybe some screens. We're right now trying to get a lot of guys out on routes, but they haven't been able to handle the pressure.
You got to start screening them a little bit. I mean, you can't let them bring max protection or bring blitzes every single time and you not be able to at least make them pay for it.
Heading toward 90 seconds to play in the half. Manuel, Benjamin again. Big fella has it into Virginia Tech territory, and he has a first down.
All of a sudden now, E.J. Manuel getting the football out of his hands quicker on this drive, quick throws on time. You see the pressure he's been under in this game already, guys. Hit 7 times.
Benjamin, who just made that catch. What a weapon he is outside. He's got 2 catches for 29 yards tonight. Here's E.J. firing it. Green has it, another completion, this time over Fuller. Rashad Green making the grab and picking up 22.
Rashad Green absolutely smokes Fuller off the line of scrimmage. Watch this. Oh, see ya. Great job. Great job defeating the corner right off the line of scrimmage, making it easy on his cornerback.
What about high pointing the football, too, at its highest point? Only a true sophomore. Showing some veteran moves, fundamentals.
E.J. again. Green's open again. Green has a touchdown, Florida State.
If it works once, go right back to it again. The second time in 2 plays, bump and run coverage. Rashad Green destroys Kyle Fuller coming off of the ball. Gonna see him here at the bottom, just shake downfield. There's nothing fancy about this. Whoop, right outside, give him a little hesitation on the double move. Only a true sophomore, guys. That's very wily. With respect to route running, and he is obviously the best route runner on a very deep and talented Florida State wide receiving corps.
E.J. Manuel was razor sharp on that drive. 4 for 4, 76 yards, and the Noles walking right down the field with Green toasting Kyle Fuller on a couple of occasions, and Florida State has the lead back just before halftime. Jimbo Fisher talking with Kelvin Benjamin, and a couple of nice grabs on that drive, but Rashad Green made the big-time plays in Florida State just before halftime to move back on top of Virginia Tech, 13-10.
E.J. Manuel's pretty happy after that drive.
No doubt.
The 2-minute drill is the hardest thing to stop as a defensive player. I mean, just the pace they usually come. They come with a bunch of wide receivers. It makes you change up kind of the way you play, but nice, sharp, crisp answer to Logan Thomas's nice passes and nice drive he put together.
And you re-seize and regain the momentum. You're playing on the road at the end of halftime, taking the lead back. If your defense can get a stop, you're going into the locker room in a very hostile environment with the lead. That's huge.
The crowd was just starting to get revved up for the Hokies, and Manuel Green silenced them. Hopkins drives Knowles deep into the end zone. Virginia Tech will have it on the 25. Let's take a look at tonight's intelligent move brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
Logan Thomas had been struggling for most of the second half of the season, threw an interception early in this game, but made 3 NFL caliber throws on their last drive. This one to Fuller on the crossing route, this one to Fuller on a slant over the middle of the field, this one to Fuller on a wheel route. Only place he could have put that. Logan Thomas playing big-time football as of right now.
Well, you got good Fuller on that side. With Kyle Fuller on the other side, you got the bad Fuller on the coverage on the Rashad Green.
48 seconds. Thomas, and trying to jump the route underneath with Xavier Rhodes. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Now, the Hokies, as we've mentioned, lost 5 games already, playing to win this thing. Would you try to move the ball here? Or would you run the clock out and go to halftime down 3?
I think you stay aggressive and try to run it. The issue is you're facing arguably the best pass rush in the entire country, so can't hold on to the football very long.
That's why I'm going into the half 13-10. I sit on it, I try to run the football, and live to fight in the second half.
Well, that's what the Hokies are going to do now. J.C. Coleman to the 30-yard line. Working down toward a half minute to go in the first half. The Land Rover halftime report coming up in just a few seconds. Scott Van Pelt along with Mark May and Brian Greasy. Look ahead to the weekend. Got some top 5 teams going on the road. Number 1 Alabama welcoming Johnny Manziel, I assume without his Scooby-Doo costume. Donned on Halloween. And Jimbo Fisher going to take the timeout. Just before the end. Okay, so 3 seconds left. The Hokies have it and can be able to run out and make this the last play of the half. So what do you expect to see in the second half? Virginia Tech seemed to have some momentum. Florida State took it back with that touchdown drive.
Guys, I think we've seen 2 defenses tonight that have been very aggressive, not just with respect to pressure and pass rush, but we've seen a lot of man-to-man coverage on the perimeter of the field. Which offense takes advantage of that the most? Who can make the biggest plays throwing it downfield? Because right now, going into the half, 2 quarterbacks are red hot.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of which quarterback can stay hot. Both these quarterbacks look really good in spurts, and they look really bad in spurts. So whichever one can take advantage of whichever blitz-happy team wants to come, and whichever one can beat man-to-man coverage on the outside. But both of them on those last 2 drives, perfect throws.
Fewest mistakes also in the second half will be big. We've seen penalties, critical. We've seen turnovers as well. Which team's the smartest team in the second half?
Look at that balance. Look at that.
It is even. The one thing Florida State hasn't been able to run the ball at all. They've -8 yards rushing. And Virginia Tech will lose a couple right before halftime. So Jimbo Fisher will take a 3-point lead into the half, and Virginia Tech has the option to get the football first to start the second half here at Lane Stadium. Samantha Steele working her way over to the Seminole head coach to see what Jimbo thought of the first half. Florida State wanting to make a point, leave no doubt in this game. And here's Sam with Jimbo.
Coach, obviously you're having some success taking some shots downfield, especially on that last drive, but how do you adjust to all the pressures that you're seeing up front?
Well, that's what they're doing. They're forcing you to do that, so we have to take the shots down the field. If you hit 1 out of 3, you're in good shape, you know. And we just got to keep a good mix. We got to find a way to run the ball a little bit, but we were able to protect him there and got his feet on the ground. He was able to make some really good throws. I mean, they're forcing. That's when they do that, that's the way you got to play.
All right, I'll let you get warm, Coach. Thanks.
All right, Sam, so Jimbo Fisher's only loss this season on the road in a tight one against NC State. Can Virginia Tech pull it off? Let's go to Scott Van Pelt in the Land Rover halftime report. What products of the state of Virginia? E.J. Manuel, the Florida State quarterback from Virginia Beach. Logan Thomas from Lynchburg. This state has produced a lot of tremendous quarterbacks.
Consider Bryn Renner out of UNC, Taj Boyd out of Clemson.
Philip Sims, who's playing at Virginia, Michael Rocco, who's also playing at Virginia. We'll see both those guys next week. Dimitri Knowles won't get a chance. Hokies will get it on the 25. Samantha Steele working the cold sidelines tonight.
Yes, Reese, I asked Frank Beamer where he thinks his team has the biggest advantage right now. He said absolutely stopping the run. Do expect them to bring the same kind of pressure they were bringing the entire first half. He said we're taking it to them there. I also asked him how he helps his team handle a game like this when there's so much expectation now of an upset. He said, like most coaches, you got to take it one play at a time, but he did say the bigger a game gets, the smaller you got to think. He needs them to compartmentalize right now, guys.
Well, Sam, you're right. They've done a great job against the run. Florida State, top 15 in the country running the football, and they've been shut down so far. Hokies haven't done much running tonight, but that's a good, solid carry of 6 for J.C. Coleman. It'll bring up 2nd and about 4. Take a look at the first half stats, and at -8 rushing yards, product of all the tackles for loss. Virginia Tech exceeded their average per game for the season in the first half with 10 tackles for loss. Back to Coleman on the ground as Virginia Tech picks up a first down with 2 runs, and a good start for the Hokies here in the third quarter.
You know, Virginia Tech's going to have to run the football here in the second half, but I think Logan Thomas is starting to find his swagger again. We talked about his confidence or lack thereof in the first half. That last drive before the half, I think, did wonders for him. His body language is different right now than it has been the last 2 weeks. That's a great sign.
If they can start running the football, he really will get that swag back. It'll make the game a lot easier on him.
2 runs, a first down. Now Thomas going to take a shot. Fired it a little bit low for Marcus Davis, 2nd and 10.
It's a little bit low. I'd like to see Marcus Davis make a better effort and go to the ground and try to make that play. Sticking one hand out isn't good enough, and every throw's not going to be perfect. I love the play call on first down, go and play action. You can help your quarterback out.
Especially if you're the guy who said that some things needed to change, as Marcus Davis did. He's the guy who said it. First thing to change might be to slide. Get 2 hands on it, coach. 2nd and 10. Coleman again. Coleman is spun down. Bjorn Werner making the stop.
This is an offense we talked about, wanted to get the football to the perimeter of the field, try to outflank Florida State. Hard to do that when you have athletes like Bjorn Werner right here, who our own Todd Maché at ESPN projects to be a top 5 pick in this year's draft.
Yeah, and I'd probably put more than a tight end on. Makes it pretty easy to just, hey, get off me, make a play. That's the first tackle he's made tonight, too, so I want to call his name a little bit more to earn that draft stock.
He has had some impact in the passing game. He broke up one. Logan into the corner, thought about running it, not enough room, and 4th down coming. Telvin Smith was the one who delivered the big hit.
It's a great stand by Florida State's defense early. Not a 3-and-out, but you get them off early. And again, bringing the wood. Logan Thomas has taken some big shots here in recent weeks. Physical Florida State defense making him pay.
You're 10 yards away from getting the first down. You have no prayer. That's when you like to see him slide. I know you're big, dude, and I like his physicality, but you know, you gotta quit taking shots on those shoulders if you want to keep living as a quarterback, man.
A.J. Hughes, Tyler Hunter, who muffed a punt earlier, is not going to field that one. It is going to roll and be touched dead at about the 9-yard line. A terrific punt from Hughes, 53 yards, and on top of that, it knocked it dead inside the 10. Couple of great games on ABC, ESPN2, Penn State and Nebraska, or West Virginia and Oklahoma State. College football presented by Kay Jewelers, also available live on Watch ESPN. West Virginia's in the empty elevator shaft.
They are, but Penn State's offense is on the way up that elevator shaft. It's been amazing what Bill O'Brien has done with Matt McGloin. You know, he's averaging 305 passing yards his last 4 games.
E.J. Manuel finished the half hot. He hits Devontae Freeman out of the backfield. Gets it up to about the 15. Pickup of maybe 6.
No love for the Huskers?
Leading
My
the
goodness,
legends.
Team Magic done a great job down the stretch. He's been lethal in late-minute drives, late in the 4th quarter.
They're hoping to get Rex Burkhead back this week at running back, which would be big after he's missed the last 2 games of the knee injury.
Abdullah's he's a beast.
He
That
is.
dude can hit a home run
No
anytime.
doubt, no doubt.
He's
All
a
3 of those guys.
Nebraska with the inside track to make it the Big Ten championship game. Lonnie Pryor gets it across the 25, and the Seminoles, some positive runs, are in the positive integers now in rushing yards.
This is huge that Florida State's able to stick with the run and start creating some gaps and lanes up front. You see a nice cut block there by Devontae Freeman getting a defender on the ground, but you see a Virginia Tech defender down right now. Looks like Michael Cole at safety. You know, guys, Virginia Tech's been very aggressive, and we heard Sam Steele talk about Frank Beamer saying early that we got to stop Florida State's running attack. When you blitz as much as you do at Virginia Tech, you can get gashed. You live and die by the blitz. Florida State can find a way to crease them on the ground. That's big in this half.
And Cole, who's a freshman from Roanoke, 6'1", 199-pounder, had a collision with Pryor, and Cole lowered his head there. Went down in a heap. Frank Beamer out to check on his young defensive back. We'll check on the status of Michael Cole. Timeout on the field to attend to his injury. Florida State up by 3. We're in a timeout on the field. Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Florida State and Virginia Tech, while medical technicians are on the field attending to Michael Cole. Cole, a freshman rover for the Hokies, was injured on the last play tackling Florida State's Lonnie Pryor. You see the concern on the faces of the people in the stands. Prayers being offered by players from both teams as they see the doctors and trainers attending to Michael Cole. And certainly we hope and pray that this is a precautionary measure as they look after the youngster from nearby Roanoke. We'll get you back to Lane Stadium right after this. Florida State with a 13-10 lead on Virginia Tech early in the 3rd quarter.
Your AT&T All-America Player of the Week. What a year it's been for Johnny Manziel of Texas A&M. They went into Starkville and beat Mississippi State 38-13. He was 30-36, threw for 311, ran for 129, and a couple of touchdowns. Alabama up next. You want to vote? Couldn't be easier. Just text your vote to 34763.
That is Virginia Tech freshman rover Michael Cole, freshman from Roanoke, who was injured on the last play. And there is an absolute silence among the 66,000 here in Lane Stadium as an ambulance comes out onto the field. And as much as we all love this sport, this is the thing that we despise about it when you see a young man injured, and certainly we don't know the severity of the injury. And there's the hit on Pryor, and immediately after the hit, you did see Cole kick his feet, but since then he's been still on the ground, and the medical personnel on site, they've appeared from our vantage point to be very careful to make sure that Cole hasn't moved, and the ambulance is now backing onto the field to take care of Michael Cole. And our thoughts and prayers are certainly with him, as you know, this is anytime you see it, and certainly we don't know what the injury is or how severe it is, and our hope is that this is cautionary in nature. But it makes you sick to your stomach to see this type of thing. They're keeping Michael warm on a cold night here in Blacksburg, and he's getting a nice round of applause from the fans here. We're able to see Michael talking to the medical personnel who are attending to him, and his teammates coming over to give him their best. We've seen several of the Florida State players as well offering prayers on his behalf as well. Now, David, again, we want to be very careful not to speculate on the injury, but because he did hit with his head down and it's something that you experienced as a player, it's something every player, I think, fears. Not that you play this game with fear, but it's something you're always concerned about, is it not?
Yeah, and it's just natural to try to protect yourself, you know, with your head or deliver a strike with your head. And you see Michael came in there and lowered his head a little bit. And that's when you see the force all go to the neck, and I mean, you've seen bad things happen, but you hope it's precautionary, because they have done such a great job of, you know, being out before it, not trying to move guys just in case it's something severe. You know, make sure they put them on a board, immobilize them, so something worse can't happen if something bad's already happened. But we're definitely thinking about him and hoping he's okay.
They're taking him to Lewis Gale Montgomery Hospital. It's about 2 minutes away from Lane Stadium, where he can get the medical attention that he needs. And if we get an update on Michael Cole's condition, we'll certainly pass that along too. The sobering moment is difficult, I think, in the moments after that for players on both teams to get locked back in on the game, and certainly it carries little consequence as opposed to the health of Michael Cole, to Frank Beamer, and all of Cole's teammates. But the situation, Florida State just picked up a first down on that run by Pryor. The 1st and 10 as whistles blow.
False start. 54 offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's a right guard, Trey Jackson, so it'll be 1st and 15 for the Seminoles.
All night long, guys, Virginia Tech has gotten great jumps on the snap defensively, and you wonder if these Florida State offensive linemen are starting to get antsy trying to settle it. Just man-to-man coverage again, being aggressive.
Good protection for Manuel, but he is inaccurate, looking for Rodney Smith. 2nd and 15 coming.
And that's the thing you got to look at this second half is, are they going to continue to be super aggressive? Both teams in the first half, blitz happy, leave guys on an island. Both quarterbacks struggled early, then all of a sudden they got in rhythm and caught fire. There's no secret. That's what they want to do. Get the ball out of their hands, hit the quarterback, make him a little bit uncomfortable, and see if he can throw and make big throws down the field.
So which cornerbacks can make the biggest plays? And so far tonight, both Antone Exum and Kyle Fuller from Virginia Tech have been beat.
Manuel rolling, firing high. Green almost had it, and then it was almost picked off on the deflection. Alonzo Tweedy almost got it. Tweedy's played a lot tonight, and he almost had a huge play.
Green may have just helped avoid a pick 6 right here. This is the 2nd straight throw that's off target by E.J. Manuel. Probably wouldn't have been a pick 6. Could have been caught, though, by Tweedy on the way down. Nice job by Green.
Great job. Turned it into the DB. A lot of people aren't aware enough to even understand what's going on when the ball goes over your head. They quit. Great job by Green.
Florida State only 2 of 8 on 3rd down tonight, and this is a long one.
Virginia Tech has brought pressure on 3rd down, trying to get the football out of E.J.'s hands quickly.
And pressure coming now. Pressure gets to him on the sack. Corey Marshall gets it, and E.J. Manuel is a little slow to get up.
Well, Bud Foster dialed up a corner blitz from the boundary. It did not have time to get there because Corey Marshall got such a great jump off the ball again. He's E.J. Manuel slow to get up. You'll see Corey Marshall here lined up. He's just going to come slant inside. And Cameron Irving, the converted defensive tackle, playing left tackle, too slow to get to him. E.J. Manuel landing right on that shoulder. Remember, E.J. last year went through had some injury issues.
Just about to say that.
Shoulder injury against Oklahoma.
Had shoulder problems, and Landed right on it. It was a throwing
That's
shoulder.
the throwing shoulder, too.
That's when things went south for Florida State last year. As soon as he got banged up, remember they finished off losing to Oklahoma, they lose to Wake Forest, really changed their season last year.
Third sack of the night, a short punt off the foot of the freshman Beatty. And Virginia Tech will have it in Florida State territory. Samantha Steele, after the 33-yard punt. We do actually have a flag down on the play. Let's see what Ron Cherry and his crew called. A personal foul called against Virginia Tech. Now let's check in with Samantha Steele. Now, Sam, you have an update on Michael Cole?
Yeah, Reese, I know you were hoping for precautionary measures like all of us. That's exactly what it is. Their team physician did confirm it is a neck sprain, but he has feeling in his hands and is able to move. Obviously, very good news.
Great news.
And I don't care what else we hear the rest of the night. That's the best news we'll get, Sam. Great job.
No doubt. That makes you feel better. Wow.
Oh, Michael's friends and family watching at home, too, I'm sure. A big sigh of relief. Now, Virginia Tech on the field has got that personal foul penalty. Instead of having it in Florida State territory, they're backed up inside their own 40. Now they're backed up inside their own 35. Logan Thomas goes down. Tank Carradine getting a sack.
Tremendous coverage by Florida State. Dave, you talked earlier, good coverage helps a pass rush. You take a look at this right here. Christian Jones at linebacker for Florida State. Doing a nice job on the bottom of the screen here, coming out and helping out on the bottom on a shallow crossing route. Just watching the quarterback's eyes, there's nothing there, nowhere for Logan Thomas to go. Total team defense.
Well, 2nd and 14, staring at Thomas. Tony Gregory. A couple of runs on the first possession that Virginia Tech had. Gave him the first down with Coleman. That one just gets him back around the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long.
Now you're playing right into Florida State's wheelhouse. 3rd and long. They stop the run early. They get pressure, bring Logan Thomas down. Tank Carradine, Bjorn Werner, these two guys will now pin their ears back. Where's the one-on-one matchup?
Warner stunted inside, underneath to Gregory out of the backfield. Tries to make a man miss and does. And Gregory, with that second effort, looks as if he picked up the first down, and he did. Tremendous effort by Gregory after the catch.
First of all, great job by Logan Thomas, checking the ball down, letting your running back make a play. But watch Gregory. Great job underneath. Comes up, makes a guy miss, makes another guy miss, spins out, comes up and gets the first down. But a good job by Logan Thomas getting the ball out of his hands and letting his guy make a play.
I think that's one of his biggest improvements this year.
Pressure coming from the corner and also up the middle. They throw the beanbag, it's going to be a fumble. I think Thomas thought he was trying to throw it away. DeMonte McAllister hit him. And Virginia Tech somehow wound up getting it back.
That might be the best play Logan Thomas makes all night because he just prevented Tyler Hunter from scooping and scoring. Pressure comes right up the middle, inside, rip move and a knife by DeMonte McAllister. Watch Logan Thomas's long arms just stick out. Reel that football back in. Wow, that is a potentially game-changing save by the quarterback.
Well, 2nd and 22 after the 12-yard sack. Thomas again feeling pressure, throwing it. There's a flag in the backfield. He got the ball out to Marcus Davis. Now Davis put the ball on the deck. Florida State grabbed him. Let's see if they said Davis was down or if they're calling it a fumble. Vince Williams got the football, and Terrence Brooks knocked it free. And the officials are trying to sort out what they want to call.
Holding, 79, offense. The penalty is declined. We have a turnover, first down.
So they're calling it the fumble, and another turnover for Virginia Tech, and Florida State gets the ball back.
Logan Thomas does a nice job again, finding Marcus Davis come underneath.
It's a fumble. You know, and the ball carriage, first off, is way too loose. 5 points of pressure. He's got to have that thing into his body.
Knees down.
Ball's out. I think it's out.
Yeah, it looked like it was out.
It looked like he was
slow it down for us.
It almost looked like he was trying to change
Fumble
hands.
recovery. Previous play, is on the further review.
He's trying to move it from his left hand to his right hand. I don't think he has possession of it right there, guys. I think it's coming out when that knee hits.
Marcus Davis, a guy that talked about needing leadership, needing guys to make plays. They weren't doing what they were a couple years ago. That's terrible ball security.
His knees are down.
That ball should be sucked to your belly right now. It should be tucked right underneath your chest.
Remember, the ruling on the field is a fumble, so you need indisputable video evidence to overturn that call. And I don't know if they're going to get it, guys, because I think right there when the knee touches right now, he's changing hands with the football, and it's coming out.
Yeah, you can see the nose of the ball, the ones closest to his body, appeared to be turning down as if he's losing control of it. And I think you're right, Jesse. I don't know how you can look at this and say it's indisputable and overturn the call. I think it's going to be Florida State's ball at the Virginia Tech 49.
Davey, to your point, Marcus Davis is a senior, so he should know better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something you drill each and every day in practice. Ball security, so key in this game, guys. We talked about cold weather, and both teams have had issues with it so far early.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Davis is frustrated by that, but I don't think he should be. I think the officials got it right. Big play by Terrence Brooks and Vince Williams. Williams there to recover it. Brooks got it free. Davis has had a rough third quarter. We've been on his case a little bit, but you know, you call out your guys. You got to make a couple of plays. And Marcus made one in the first half, and see if he'll have an opportunity later on to atone. Manuel going right to work to Wilder out of the backfield. James Wilder with a good pickup on first down. Second is shortcoming.
What I love about Florida State's offense is the balance in the passing game. They got a lot of great receivers, but they don't have one go-to guy. And as a result, E.J. Manuel finds the open player. They got 8 guys with more than 10 catches this season.
They're going to go a little tempo and back to Lonnie Pryor. Virginia Tech was raking at the football. Pryor kept it secure and picked up the first down. And now, see Florida State going a little no huddle. How does this help?
No, I think you change the tempo, try to give yourself an edge. You go into 2-minute mode, putting E.J. in the shotgun. David talked earlier. This is where E.J. Manuel feels most comfortable in this offense.
Manuel, Devontae Freeman. He tried to get away from Tyler. Jack Tyler's able to wrap him up, and another good pickup, 8 yards on first down.
Again, I love how decisive E.J. Manuel is. That's the same play Everett Golson from Notre Dame threw an interception in the end zone against Pitt this past weekend. But right there, flats open right now, you take it right now.
Going to give Devontae 9 on that one, so just a yard away from the first down. Back to the ground with Lonnie Pryor. Pryor's going to pick up the first down. Pryor, who can play fullback, play running back, gives him a real physical dimension to the running.
He's one of the most versatile players in college football. Really does a good job. He can catch it out of the backfield. He can stick his nose in there and block somebody. He can run the football. He really is fun to watch. We watched the tape that NC State game.
Yeah, he whacked some dudes in that game.
He ain't afraid to hit.
Manuel has a man out there, and he puts it right in the belly of Kenny Shaw. Kyle Fuller was again on the coverage, pickup of 16.
Kenny Shaw's another great route runner from Florida State. Going to run the shake route here. Kyle Fuller giving him way too much cushion. You go to the post, you don't peek back, put your foot in the ground. The throw protects the route.
Did you see Kyle Fuller in the first half? That's why he's giving him a cushion.
So first and goal. Manuel to the end zone. Touchdown, Florida State. It's Greg Dent. So Davis's fumble turns into a Florida State touchdown, and the Seminoles now have a 2-score lead.
Jimbo Fisher's decision to change the tempo and go hurry up really kept Bud Foster's defense on its heels. Nice play fake sell. Dent able to get into the second level of the end zone.
And perfect throw. That was right on the money. His shoulder ain't bothering him. Seminole fans feel good. He's all right.
Sure was on that one. Laid it beautifully right over the freshman Desmond Fry. Dent with his second touchdown catch of the season, and now Florida State with 6:53 remaining in the third quarter with a 20-10 lead. And with that defense, that can be a very, very tall hill to climb for Virginia Tech. Look at E.J. Manuel after a little bit of a slow start. Finished strong in the first half and started strong here in the second.
I think it's interesting. He's one of those guys you look at, he's got the height, 6'5", 240 pounds. He's got a strong enough arm. He's got great mobility. And he has times that he just makes you go, wow. And then he has other times where he's just not very consistent. I tell you what, 9 of 11, the last drive of the second half, and what he just put together there, that's pretty solid. That's the good EJ that makes you go, wow.
Now Bud Foster trying to dial up some new things for the next time Florida State gets the ball back. They need a little help from their offense right now. BCS Countdown on ESPN and ESPNU Sunday. Closing in on the week, still have those top 4 teams. Louisville also undefeated, not quite in the mix. Florida State is a team that's 6th in the human polls right now, but 19th in the computers. That's what's holding the Seminoles down all the way at number 10. We'll look at this week's BCS standings brought to you by Vizio. Kansas State still holding an edge on Oregon. That's the real drama should the top 4 teams remain undefeated, whether Kansas State can hold off Oregon for that second spot. Brett Edwards, who joined us on the show last week, saying that to get Notre Dame into the championship game, they need a couple of those teams in front of them to lose. Dimitri Knowles takes the kickoff at his 6. Knowles not quite to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Hokies will take it.
You know, guys, Virginia Tech has a very unique system with calling plays each and every game. Brian Steinspring's the offensive coordinator. You see him right here. He puts the game plan together throughout the course of the week, but Mike O'Kane is the quarterback coach. He's the one actually calling the plays on game day. Because he meets with Logan Thomas throughout the week, he understands what his quarterback likes, what concepts he feels most comfortable with. That's why he gets the microphone.
Well, they're close enough to talk. Hey, man, dial this up. Call it in.
I'm not going to say it. You just call this.
Knowles on the end around. Carradine chasing him, a short pickup. This might be one of the games dealing with this defense where Brian and Mike say, no, why don't you take a swing at it? see what you've got.
Look at Tank Carradine. He's fired up. We talked about the effort he shows each and every game. It's just remarkable. Watch him at the top of the screen. Watch him chase this play. Now, this is Dave Pollock-like. Maintains his gap, puts on the wheels here. Full tilt, full effort. Although, Dave, you probably make that tackle.
He gets credit for it. He pushed him out.
Thomas fires. Knowles with the grab. Across the 30-yard line, and Dimitri will have enough for the first down.
And it's not like Logan Thomas went cold. Marcus Davis made a bad play. Otherwise, he was making the right decisions on that last drive. He's still throwing the ball well. He's getting it out of his hands quick, making good decisions.
Have you seen how small the windows are that he has to throw into?
Yeah.
All of these completions you've seen in the last couple drives from Logan Thomas are body shots, putting them on his receiver. He's not giving those guys a chance to catch it or a choice. They're going to catch it or get hurt.
He's going to stick to him
or wear it. Catch it or wear it, baby. Your choice.
And like it.
Give to Coleman. Not much. Telvin Smith there to make the stop after Coleman picked up maybe one. Florida State defense, well, they haven't provided very many ample windows to anyone. They're 3rd in the nation in scoring defense, 3rd in rush defense, 4th in passing yards overall, the #1 defense in college football.
They gave up 28 yards to Savannah State. I know it's Savannah State. They gave up 28 yards. A Pee Wee football team would hit a Statue of Liberty on Florida State and get 28 yards.
Especially with that little 9-year-old girl that we saw on Sports Center.
No doubt. I mean,
top 10 plays.
This defense, Mark Stoops' unit is remarkable.
What's the girl's name? Samantha Gordon, I think. She has some wheels for a 9-year-old.
No doubt.
Logan Thomas looking for somebody with wheels, and he's got somebody. It's Fuller, the track guy. Corey Fuller into the Seminoles secondary and inside the 25. And Corey's had a big night, and he makes another big play. A pickup of 45.
Logan Thomas doing a great job getting through his progression. He wanted Dimitri Knowles going down the sidelines. You're going to see looking way to the right, not there. Pump fake by time. Find Fuller. That's been the money man for him so far in the middle of the field.
And a great job. I didn't see Warner. I didn't see Carradine. Nice job of the offensive line up front. Nice job by Logan Thomas finding the open guy.
So 1st and 10 inside the 25. Back to the ground with Coleman. Hard to make a living finding that edge against that fast and furious Seminole defense. Tank Carradine was out there, so too was Terrence Brooks.
Logan Thomas's greatest improvement this year versus last year. He's spreading the football around more, doing a better job getting through progressions, not as quick to run as he did last year. We've seen him tonight, guys, chuck the ball down to his backs. We've seen him throw to second and third receivers, doing a nice job. He's in control.
I think the best thing he's done is take shots down the field, too, because when he's got it, it's there. Usually you don't have time, and I think most of the time quarterbacks go, I got to get this out of my hand, I got to get it out of my hand. He's done a great job when he has time taking advantage of it and taking some shots down the field.
Takes a shot underneath. It's Fuller again. Fuller has the first down. He's inside the 10. First and goal for the Hokies.
Virginia Tech's using a lot of man-to-man beaters right now with crossing routes over the middle of the field, trying to draw confusion, making them easy short throws for Logan Thomas.
Fuller over 100 yards receiving tonight. Logan Thomas just went over 200 passing. Hokies trying to draw closer. We get deep in the third quarter in Blacksburg. Thomas keeps it. Big fella leaning and straining and picks up about 3 to the 5. Second and goal coming.
Got to do it in the red zone. 260-pound quarterback, +1 advantage in the running game. I know he's banged up a bit. He's hurt. He's taken some big shots tonight, but you need him in this critical area of the field.
Would you run him again here?
No doubt.
Would you run him until he scores?
No doubt.
Here he goes. That's the only time he'll have to run it. Touchdown, Logan Thomas. Last week against Miami, we saw Thomas go 73 with a run. Mark Stoops frustrated by that drive. Thomas has scored more rushing touchdowns than Michael Vick in his career, and they got down in the red zone and let the big fella handle it.
And a great job bringing Coleman across the formation. You see the linebackers, Vince Williams jumps out there to take him, opens up a big hole in the middle. And we talk about it, it gives you an extra player to block when you got a big boy that can run. He ain't Vick, but he'll lower the boom.
And he did, and the Hokies are back within a field goal.
Go.
ESPN College Football Primetime, brought to you by Hyundai. Go online and show your loyalty to your school at HyundaiShowYourLoyalty.com. And the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Let me see how Jesse, Davey, Sam, and I get ready for a game every week. Running obstacle courses like this. This is an obstacle course on campus here at Virginia Tech. You're watching the special ops unit run it. Course record, 42.9 seconds throw.
That looks like Davey's son. Going over those bars. Davey's got a son who's 4 years old that I'm telling you looks just like that when he goes over the monkey bars. It's unbelievable.
He's got the monkey bars mastered. This place they're jumping up and down too.
They finally started to rock. It's almost as if they've been afraid to turn it loose because the season hasn't been what they're used to. But now the Hokies coming up with a clutch drive, closing to within 3 of the 10th-ranked Seminoles. Lane Stadium's alive. LaMarcus Joyner trying to quiet them down again, and a good kickoff return gets it just short of the 35-yard line. Logan Thomas was 3 for 3 on that last 80-yard drive. He's taken a beating at times tonight, fellas.
He's proven he's tough, taking some big-time shots from one of the best pass rushes in the entire country, and he's made some big-time throws. Not big areas, not big windows to throw into. Bad ankle, doesn't affect him. He's playing like the top 5 pick that a lot of people thought he would be at the start of this season tonight. It's the best I've seen him play this season.
Trying to keep his team in it. E.J. Manuel has been sharp lately, too. Now it's E.J.'s turn. Steps up, fires. That ball was almost picked off. Antone Exum was there.
It's amazing to me that a cornerback that weighs 225 pounds is as agile and has the ball skills that Antone Exum has.
He ain't scared.
No.
He'll get, and Fuller got beat a lot in the first half. We haven't seen him. He's been on the island a lot of times. Made some big plays, but I tell you what, this crowd starts getting involved, the defensive line, you get off a little bit better because of the noise. Everybody gets a little bit more hype. playing to the crowd.
And look at 42, J.R. Collins. They moved him inside, wanting some pass rush in the middle. And Manuel quiets the crowd momentarily, completing a pass to Green in front of Fuller.
Tremendous job in protection this time by Florida State against the pressure from Bud Foster. You'll see Devontae Freeman here at the top of the screen, one-on-one with Alonzo Tweedy. Not a clean block, but he gets enough of him. That allows a clean pocket for E.J. Manuel to throw.
Pass completion, good for a first down. Lonnie Pryor. Lonnie picks up a couple. Bruce Taylor hit him along with Kyle Fuller.
You know, guys, this is a defense that has really struggled at times against the run this year. How many yards did they give up to Gio Bernard when they played at UNC? It was like 262.
262.
Against Pitt, they gave up over 250. But tonight, against a good running offense, they're playing big-time football now.
They've allowed 3 yards rushing. A lot of tackles for loss. They've had 3 sacks. Manuel's team up by 3 as we work our way inside 2 minutes of the third quarter. E.J. Manuel threw it behind the intended receiver, Jared Higgins. Dietrich Bonner was on the coverage, and now it's a third down and a big play for the Virginia Tech defense and for the Seminole offense. They don't want to let a hot Logan Thomas get back on the field. Florida State just 2 of 9 on third down tonight. On the season, they're over 45%. It's top 30 in the country. Keys rattling, voices being raised. Manuel looking for the tunnel screen, and Virginia Tech has it completely snuffed out. Luther Mattey wrapped up Rodney Smith. Bruce Smith pleased, and Virginia Tech forcing the punt. E.J. Manuel walking a little gingerly back toward his sideline.
Perfect play call. That's exactly what you wanted Virginia Tech in, but Luther Mattey made a play. I mean, that was perfect as a defensive tackle, dropping out and covering that screen and making an open field tackle. That's exactly what Florida State wanted to see from Bud Foster's defense.
Kason Beatty, that is a low punt to Kyshawn Jarrett. Jarrett gets away from 1. Made another miss, but Jarrett gets it back to the 20-yard line. Logan Thomas and the Hokies will have it back under a minute to play in the third quarter. Weekend menu served up by Applebee's. We'll start at noon on ESPN. Northwestern and Michigan. Penn State, Nebraska, we talked about, very important in the Big Ten in terms of the Legends Division for Nebraska. Mississippi State and LSU, interesting to see how both of them respond.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. You know, LSU obviously losing in a 2-minute situation at home. Heartbreaking loss against Alabama. Mississippi State's been outscored 76-20 in their last 2 games after starting 7-0. A lot to play for those 2 teams.
Notre Dame and Boston College on ABC as the Irish try to stay undefeated against a BC team that struggled. Big hit delivered Joey Phillips. Get to know Xavier Rhodes. X marks the spot.
We talked about Antone Exum, big physical corner for Virginia Tech. Well, what about Xavier Rhodes, 6'2", 220? Have a taste.
May I show you to your seat, Joey?
That's not a little dude. That's a 240-pound fullback.
We got 2 defenses that are slobber knocking tonight, man. There's some hitting.
Gregory, he was going forward for a while, and then Christian Jones stuck his face in the fan. Starting to get excited up here, fellas. People laying some licks on one another. Tony's like, all right,
I need a minute.
I need a minute.
Coleman, get in here.
My hamstring's hurting me a second.
I think Virginia Tech's going to get the snap off, and they don't. 20-17, Florida State in control in the ACC Atlantic. Virginia Tech uncharacteristically not in the mix at the moment for an ACC title, but boy, are they in the mix to pull an upset in the fourth quarter. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Fourth quarter just about to start in Blacksburg. Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, Samantha Steele. It's been a disappointing season for Virginia Tech. Boy, what a salvaging moment this could be if the Hokies could upset the 10th ranked team in the country. But right now, Logan Thomas looking at a 3rd down and 6 as we start the 4th quarter.
For Florida State, find Corey Fuller in the slot. That's been Logan Thomas's go-to guy.
Underneath to Coleman. Coleman has the 1st down. JC still on his feet up close to the 40-yard line before he's knocked down. Virginia Tech now 5 of 12 on 3rd down after picking up 14.
Fuller's been the guy, but I tell you what, if you can get Coleman on Nick Moody in the slot, a 240-pound linebacker, I like my chances. Nice route, sticks his foot in the ground. Great throw by Logan Thomas. Coleman's going to win that matchup 90% of the time.
Play action. Thomas taking a shot. Marcus Davis is out there. Davis drops the pass inside the 20.
It's another play Marcus Davis has had an opportunity to make, and he hasn't come down with. Florida State giving him a lot of cushion, and that's a throw you got to, that's a catch you got to make. You're 6'4", you have the range to high point that. You're a senior, you got to come down with it.
He's been, as Bruce Smith, frustrated as it bounced off Davis's hands. Virginia Tech missed an opportunity for a huge completion. Logan Thomas had hit 7 in a row. Back to the air. Fuller wedges himself between a couple of Seminoles. 3rd down coming after the pickup of 4.
Logan Thomas looked like Peyton Manning there at the line of scrimmage, guys. He audibled twice out of the original play call to try and find Fuller. There's so much cushion being given right now by these Florida State DBs. They respect the downfield ability of Virginia Tech. Logan Thomas has been hitting those throws. That's why they're playing off. Not here though. Man-to-man, bump and run.
Pistol set. Coleman's the running back. They'll look to the side for the checks. Low snap. Thomas picks it up. In a lot of trouble, and I don't know if the receiver was close enough to him. Vince Williams was applying the pressure. Nick Moody was in there.
I really think, guys, Logan Thomas, some of his best plays tonight have been avoiding disasters. There was a fumble earlier that he was able to recover that avoided Tyler Hunter from picking it up and scoring it right here. Bad snap. Just to get rid of that and not take a huge loss. Nice play.
It's got to be frustrating because he's been dealing on 3rd downs. He's been hot. You can't even get him to snap to attempt to make a play.
Davis, you saw on the sideline, had an opportunity to make a huge one inside the Florida State 20 and couldn't hold on to the pass. Another good solid punt from A.J. Hughes. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at the 18-yard line, and that's where E.J. Manuel will have it after the 40-yard punt. It is ESPN's Veteran Week, and as we head to break, enjoy the rifle team and their fine precision work. Part of the celebration of ESPN's Veteran Week, the USS San Diego arriving at port today. College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is going to come to you from that vessel Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 6 on the West Coast. Part of our salute to the troops and thanks and our way of showing appreciation for the great service that they've given to our country. It was a great scene when we had the basketball game in San Diego on the ship last year, North Carolina and Michigan State, and having game day there will be great too. Here at Virginia Tech, a rich military history. Just looking forward to seeing all you game day guys out there. Maybe Fowler gets a new nickname. We can start calling him the Skipper. E.J. Manuel put it right on the money to Rodney Smith, and Antone Exum knocked it away. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Antone Exum is making plays. Bud Foster is still aggressive, bump and run coverage outside, and this converted safety from a year ago lined up against a 6'6" receiver, out physically.
Left hand slipping right in there when the ball gets in there, knocking it out. That's perfect.
3rd pass broken up by Exum tonight. The crowd starting to believe, trying to will the Hokie defense to slow down E.J. Manuel and the Noles. This time, Smith is able to hang on. Dietrich Bonner pushes him out short of the first down, so a third down coming. Let's see what kind of noise Hokie Nation can bring here and how the Seminoles will deal with it. Bud Foster's brought a lot of pressure tonight. Just 2 of 10 on third down are the Noles. Normally an excellent third down team. Manuel firing. Smith hit hard, and he's going to be, I think, just enough for the first down. Big stick by Exum, but Smith got enough to move the chains.
Virginia Tech decided not to come with pressure on this one. Gave E.J. Manuel time to get through a progression. Check down Reed, wide open. Exum's physical, but Rodney Smith's 6'6". And if he leans out, he gets that first down, which he does.
Exum's the guy that's been fine out there. He's been doing his job the whole time. Fuller's the one that they've attacked, but Exum continues. Look at that physical play to come up and make that stick as a corner. Sweet.
Manuel steps up, fires right on the money to the Golden Cub, Nick O'Leary. Jack Nicklaus's grandson making his first grab of the night.
He's a throwback. He doesn't wear gloves or wristbands, but the guy makes plays. I've been impressed watching him on tape work the middle of the field and make awkward body catches like the one you just saw there.
He doesn't wear gloves, but Jimbo won't let his guys wear sleeves. He said it leads to fumbles. As Jimbo put it, that silky stuff. Can't have that silky stuff on your arm.
Well, it's not helping tonight because they put the ball on the turf a lot. They've been doing it the last 3 weeks.
Offensive linemen never wear sleeves. Tough guys.
Try some of those towels the Chargers had. Manuel to James Wilder. Bonner went at his feet. Wilder struggled ahead and picked up a few extra.
You know, E.J. Manuel continues to show his experience. Watch how quickly he gets through his progression right here. He wants to work the slant at the bottom of the screen. Not there. Right now, he comes back, gets the football out of his hands. I mean, that is big-time decision-making by your quarterback.
Seminoles now into Hokie territory at the 48. 2nd and 3 for Manuel. He's now getting close to 300 yards. 260. Back to the ground with Pryor. Football is loose. It's on the ground. Fuller had a shot at it. Let's see who came out with it. I think the Seminoles might have gotten it back.
O'Leary without the gloves got in there.
He's still fighting. Wilder's in there. Ron Cherry holding the arm into the air, and Florida State is going to maintain possession.
You know, Skip Holtz at USF makes his team do up downs because of penalties. Jimbo Fisher may want to implement that with his football team with respect to fumbles, because the ball has been on the ground way too often tonight. That's a great job by the defender,
Tyrell Wilson,
putting that helmet right on the ball. But again, that's Lonnie Pryor, a 230-pound fullback. You got to keep that ball tucked away.
Well, it's been that kind of night for Kyle Fuller, too. We've seen him beat in coverage a couple of times, and he was all over the ball when it was loose, and somehow eluded his grasp, and instead, Florida State will have a 3rd and 3.
He didn't have sleeves on, does he, Reese?
He doesn't. He still fumbled.
Never put on the sleeves.
May be able to talk Jimbo into sleeves. Manuel, pressure, down he goes. Eddie Nicholas with the sack as the Noles get to Manuel again, a loss of 8.
Daddy Nicholas is just 6'2", 233-pound freshman. Bud Foster told us yesterday, we're going to play him more because he has unbelievable ability. You don't always know what he's going to do out there. Doesn't always play the right assignment here. He beats a very athletic right tackle in Menelik Watson, showing you that speed around the edge.
Come to Daddy.
Perhaps asking Menelik, who's your
Daddy?
No, 4th and 11. Noles are going to have to punt it away. Drive Jarrett at 15. Slips by a couple, and a sure tackle on special teams by Christian Jones, the linebacker. So inside 10 minutes to play. Nicholas makes the big play. Virginia Tech has it back, down 3.
ESPN College Football Primetime is served by Applebee's. proud to thank heroes one free entree at a time on Veterans Day. And in part by the all-new Honda Accord. It starts with you.
This cannon's so special it has a name. Skipper, the name of the cannon. The cadets shoot after Virginia Tech scores. It originated in 1964. The cannon's name is a tribute to John F. Kennedy's nickname while he was a PT boat captain in the Navy. And there is Skipper. It stays out there practice field.
Man.
Now, is Skipper there, or is that just the cart to carry him around?
I don't know. I'd turn him around, facing pointing towards anybody though.
Safety first. Logan Thomas, throwback, giving Marcus Davis another chance, and Davis was fighting with Terrence Brooks. It's 2nd and 10.
Mark Stoops, the defensive coordinator for Florida State, is not going to allow Logan Thomas to sit back and have all day. He brought a corner blitz from the boundary. He's deciding to crank up the pressure right now. And
look at that play.
Yeah, there's jostling.
That's a great play by Riley. His right hand swat that ball as soon as it's coming in. I'm sorry, that's Brooks.
Brooks, yeah. J.C. Coleman. Coleman up close to the 25. He'll be short of the first down. He'll need about 2.5 to 3, and LaMarcus Joyner on the stop.
Well, during the bye week 2 weeks ago, Virginia Tech did a lot of self-scouting because of their inconsistent running game, and they decided they'd be better off giving J.C. Coleman the football in spread sets. And we've seen that tonight, using his speed to get outside. Guys, I'm not so sure here would be another area. Maybe Logan Thomas could carry the football to get you a first.
It's exactly what they're going to try, but Thomas not going to get close to the first down. Vince Williams, that run-stuffing linebacker, we've seen him be strong against the run all night, makes the tackle.
Exact same play you saw right in the end zone where they pounded it in there and did a good job of scoring. Florida State a little bit more ready, playing the inside run a little bit more, because Logan Thomas has kept that 90% of the time. That hand to J.C. Coleman was the first time he gave it to him on the outside, so Florida State was ready for him.
You know, guys, Florida State has been one of the best return teams in the country this year. This would be an opportune time if Tyler Hunter could take one back, give him great field position.
Took one back 75 yards against Duke. I don't think he's going to get a chance with this one. It's A.J. Hughes. It was not pretty, but it is getting a very useful roll to go inside the 20.
And if you're Tyler Hunter, why don't you field that? And just fair catch it.
It was a
live drive.
Yeah,
but he had time to go make that catch.
I'm not sure he could have gotten to it. At any rate,
he already dropped
backed
one.
up just inside the 20. Knowles will have it back. 54-yard punt. Back in Blacksburg, Florida State with a 20-17 lead, 8:19 to play as Frank Beamer's team tries to get back to 500. Seminoles have it on their own 20. Earlier in the second half, Michael Cole, freshman rover from Virginia Tech, was hurt on that play, tackling Lonnie Pryor. As Samantha Steele reported, they're calling it a neck strain. They didn't move Michael much, so you see his arm moving just a little bit there. Put him on a board as a precautionary measure, took him to the hospital. No further update, but the good news is feeling in his extremities, and as Sam reported, being very careful with him just as a precaution. E.J. Manuel firing to the outside. It's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Guys, this is a Florida State team that's averaging nearly 235 yards per game rushing. They're 240 yards behind that number right now. This would be a good time to be able to run the football and see if they can get a little bit deeper in that clock.
No doubt it would, but give Virginia Tech credit because they've been more physical at the point of attack. They've made them one-dimensional, and as a response, it's helped their pass rush.
You saw that worst rushing performance of the season against NC State. It's the only game the Seminoles have lost. But they have the lead now, and it's 2nd and 10. Manuel going to throw it again, getting heat again from Gale, and Gale has him wrapped up. 5th sack of the night for the Hokies. A loss of 10.
This is a situation that I'd like to see E.J. Manuel throw this football away. And it's easier for me to say that up here in the comfort of this booth with you guys. But right now, pressure coming. If he can roll, get outside the pocket, just keep running and throw it out of bounds. Don't take that huge loss.
James Gale is a war daddy. He's been all over the field. We got to see him last week making plays. You see him spinning. He's one of those guys that really know how to get after quarterback. This is perfect. 3rd and 20. Here we go.
Screen. Good defense. Expect screen, draw, delay of game.
Now,
Delay of game. Number 3, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
well, before it was 3rd and Richmond, now it's 3rd and Tidewater.
Not a lot of play calls in the playbook for Jimbo Fisher for this. I think what you're trying to do right now, obviously, you're not thinking about getting it all back. You have to give yourself, get some of the yardage back, help out your punter.
Manuel trying to call those signals right in front of the marching Virginians. That's the band, Virginia Tech. He's going to try. Devontae Freeman, he threw the football away. Now, is that going to be a forward pass? It may be grounding in the end zone. They're going to call it an incomplete pass. Freeman was trying to avoid the safety. Now, Ron Cherry going to sort that out. The flag came out. He was wrapped up in the end zone. Here's Ron.
Well, this is interesting.
On the field is that we have an illegal forward pass that is incomplete from the end zone. There is an option. If not, there is a safety.
So Virginia Tech coming up with the play, getting Freeman in the backfield when Florida State was just trying to get some yardage to punt the ball, and it turns in to a penalty in the end zone. Now, here comes Ron again. He said there was an option and now a safety.
On the play, there was an illegal forward pass from the end zone. The results in a safety. Okay, 2 points for a free kick from the 20-yard line.
2 things, first, I hated about this. 1, the play call of why you'd run counter near the goal line. 2, Freeman bouncing it outside even more, trying to make a play instead of just getting out of the end zone and learning to punt.
We talked about that early, Davey. Florida State offensively has not had success with slow developing running plays against a Virginia Tech front that has gotten penetration
left and
all
right,
game
all
long.
game.
But aside from that, when you're deep down in your own end, generally they're hardball plays north-south.
Now, Reese, if the ball's out of the end zone completely when he throws it, does that mean that he's down at the inch-yard line, or does that mean, you know what I'm saying?
If he'd been running the football, he would have been out of the end zone. But I think the pass, because he was in the end zone throwing the pass.
Because the ball looks like it gets all the way out. It's all the way out of the end zone, and then he throws it.
So here's the deal now if you're Virginia Tech. You don't need a field goal to tie. Field goal wins it for you. If you can put together a good drive, you need up some clock right now, you just saved your season if you're Frank Beamer.
Yeah, we're checking with the replay guys to make sure that we're clear on the rule about where the ball is on a forward pass out of the end zone. Ron Cherry and his crew on the field were clear about it. Nobody from the replay booth has buzzed down to stop the call or stop the play. So the safety, because he was in the end zone with trying to throw the ball when he was wrapped up, to safety, and now it's a free kick as J.C. Coleman has it. Coleman back up the middle with running room. Coleman across the 40 and close to the 45-yard line, and now the Hokies down 1 have the ball in excellent field position.
That's exactly what they needed, the momentum shift here at Lane Stadium. You get the safety on defense, as Devontae Freeman's getting an earful from Jimbo Fisher.
What do you think he's saying? Don't go east-west, go north-south, get out of the end zone.
And now you get the true freshman J.C. Coleman giving you tremendous field position near close to midfield as Logan Thomas tries to quiet the crowd down.
They'll go to Coleman. He'll pick up 2 or 3. He's still driving.
And despite everything that just happened, Reese, the bottom line is you're Florida State. You got one of the best defenses in the country. You look at the clock, you're a defensive guy. You got 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Make a stop. You make a stop, you can still win this ball game 20-19.
Florida State hasn't been able to run the ball at all tonight. Manuel's thrown for 260, but they've lost 20 yards on the ground. The last running play cost them 2 points. Now Virginia Tech trying to move in position to take the lead. And Thomas, he'd gotten into Coleman. He had an opportunity to pick up some yards, but he didn't. It's 3rd and 7.
Because of the speed and athleticism of Florida State, you just get the feeling if Virginia Tech's going to pull this off, they're going to need an explosive play downfield. Marcus Davis made a catch early. He's had a couple chances to make catches here since that point. Hasn't done it. Someone's going to have to make a play deep downfield.
About Bjorn Warner. He's been kind of quiet tonight. Maybe that's time for him to step up.
Thomas on 3rd and 7. Gregory has it. He makes Smith miss. First down, Hokies inside the 40-yard line. A pickup of 15 on 3rd down, and Bruce Smith out of the line moving the chains.
We talked about the depth of running back for Florida State. What about Virginia Tech? Tony Gregory, a guy that once tore his ACL. Looks like he has no issues on that play. That was a tremendous cut to get that first down.
Second time. Remember last time it was 3rd and 15. He makes a guy miss, gets a first down, and does it again on 3rd down. He's been a good weapon out of the backfield tonight.
Not much has gone right down the gut of games for Virginia Tech this season.
Remember, because of the safety, they need a field goal to win, so they're milking the clock.
Gregory inside the 35, pickup of 4, 2nd and 6.
There's no great sense of urgency right now for this Virginia Tech offense because of that giant play forced by their D, so Logan Thomas can take his time. They got to get to at least inside the 30-yard line to give their kicker a chance.
Jernell does not have the range of a Dustin Hopkins. About 42 yards is in his comfort zone. Florida State showing a little pressure. See if they stay in it or back out. Need Mark Stoops gesturing along the sideline to the top of your screen. Thomas gets it out quickly. Fuller, first down. Fuller still on his feet as he got inside the 25 before he was dragged down. A 1st and 10 for the Hokies.
I wish we could show all the checks that just happened on that play, but bottom line is Logan Thomas gets the matchup he wants. Fuller's been his man all night. Nice throw. Logan Thomas first comes up, it's a run. He checks the defense, checks his play, then checks back when Florida State checked out their play. So a lot going on at the line of scrimmage.
Fuller has 7 catches, 124 yards and a score tonight. Tyrell Roberts inside the 20. Roberts inside the 15, and Roberts has a first down. A good block by who else? Corey Fuller.
I love what Virginia Tech is doing right now, getting up to the line of scrimmage right away, and by not huddling, they're giving themselves the opportunity to get the best play call possible, use the entire play clock.
Thomas over the 250-yard mark on the night.
Let that thing tick as much as you can.
Hokies well within field goal range, but they'd like to stick it in the end zone. Make Florida State have to score a touchdown. Coleman inside the 10. The little guy running hard, but pushed back. Pick up
Number 7, Christian Jones.
3, maybe 4.
2 words we've said over and over tonight, guys. Ball security. We've seen a lot of fumbles. If you're Virginia Tech right now, you make sure you have possession of the football. You are not putting it on the ground.
2 words, clock management. Logan Thomas snapped that ball with 8 seconds left, 7 seconds left on the clock. Let that thing tick all the way down, man.
They're going to give him 5 on the run. 2nd and 5. Back to Coleman. Coleman picking his way.
Coleman, the ball carrier, down.
He'll still be about 3 yards short of the first down.
Dustin Hopkins has a boot. He has an absolute boot. I would milk this. You just left 15 other seconds on the clock. And I'm talking about Dustin Hopkins for Florida State. Even if you get this kick, all you got to do is get to the 40, and he's got a good opportunity. That's why I've let the clock run down a heck of a lot more than Virginia Tech's doing right now.
How about a run-pass option for Logan Thomas here? Or just a run. Forget that. Run. Logan Thomas here. 260. Let him go get it.
See 22, Telvin Smith of Florida State moving around. Not sure where he's going to wind up, but there appeared for a moment to be a hole in the middle, and Logan Thomas not going to take any chances on this 3rd down. So a 3rd and 3. Virginia Tech just outside the Florida State 5, trying to break the Seminoles' heart in the final moments in Blacksburg.
Hokiessports.com is the...
Saturday night on ABC, 8 o'clock Eastern time, number 4, undefeated Notre Dame on the road against Boston College. And BC has had a rough year under Frank Spaziani, but crazy things can happen on the road, as we're seeing in Lane Stadium tonight. Devontae Freeman, who was caught for an illegal forward pass when he was just trying to get rid of the ball in the end zone. To clarify the rule, it's where the release starts, and Devontae was clearly in the end zone. So because of the penalty in the end zone, it was a safety. Virginia Tech got the ball back, and now they're on the 6-yard line with a 3rd and 3. Logan Thomas driving for the first down, and he won't get there. Telvin Smith will stop him about a yard short.
There are so few defenses in the country that are stout enough up front to do that to Logan Thomas.
This is 30 seconds.
And you see Jimbo Fisher using his timeout now to make sure that Virginia Tech's not able to bleed the clock. And Cody Jurnell, who kicked a game-winning field goal in the season opener here in Blacksburg in overtime against Georgia Tech, will get a chance to kick a go-ahead field goal. We assume. Can't imagine they would do anything else. It'll be virtually an extra point-length field goal.
The 2 recent critical 3rd downs for Virginia Tech offensively has stopped with Logan Thomas runs because of this front 7 for Florida State. I mean, Anthony McLeod, Everett Dawkins, Timmy Jernigan, DeMontre McAllister inside, and then Vince Williams, Nick Moody, Christian Jones playing downhill at linebacker have come up with some huge stops on an opposing quarterback.
Jurnell trots onto the field. The holder is Trey Gresh. 2:23 to go, a 21-yard attempt that would give the Hokies a 22-20 lead. Good snap, good hold, and good kick. And Virginia Tech has a 2-point lead on the 10th-ranked team in the country with 2:19 to play.
Now let's remember, Florida State recently had success offensively when they changed the tempo in a 2-minute type situation, marched right down the field, and scored a touchdown on a pass to Greg Dent.
Well, and right before the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, it was...
So EJ Manuel feels comfortable in these 2-minute situations. This is where he's at home the most. He's made some big throws tonight, made some good decisions. They need their senior leader right now. Talk about the ACC, their hopes being on the line, BCS bowl game being on the line. Who knows? Chance at a BCS national championship game if chaos happens in front of them. It's all on EJ Manuel right now.
Jimbo Fisher, now in his 3rd year as a head coach, has lost only 9 times. But 5 of those losses have been major upsets when the Seminoles were double-figure favorites, just as they are tonight. And at the moment, Virginia Tech, who's underachieved all season long, is a team that many thought would contend for the ACC championship, certainly for an ACC Coastal Division championship, sitting at 4 and 5, and trying to hang on for 2 minutes and 19 seconds. But as David mentioned a few moments ago, the Seminoles don't have to get very deep. They have Dustin Hopkins, one of the top kickers in America. He's at a 56-yarder. He's got huge range. It'll be up to the Hokie defense. In warm-ups, Hopkins knocked one through from 58 yards away, going in the direction that the Seminoles will be traveling. LaMarcus Joyner takes a short kickoff at his 10. Joyner, it's across the 30. He stopped around the 32, and the Hokie defensive Bud Foster's had a virtuoso performance.
And they've done an unbelievable job with respect to their pressure. We knew Bud Foster was going to be aggressive, a lot of different blitzes, and as a result, they've gotten EJ Manuel 5 times for sacks. They've been able to stop the running game, too. I mean, they've held them to minus 20 rushing yards tonight. It's been an unbelievable performance.
Forced 2 turnovers and scored 2 points.
Is that we have an illegal forward pass.
So Florida State will start on the 32. They really just need about 33 yards. Now they're going to need 38 because Menelik Watson.
71, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Watson came out of his stance. He'll need about 38 yards to make it a 52-yard attempt for Hopkins.
Lane Stadium is like an SEC environment, and right now you're hearing that noise and the advantage it gives the home team.
Haven't seen the Hokies with this much energy very often this season. Defensive linemen were jumping around, exhorting one another. See what kind of pressure they can put on the FSU offensive line. Manuel quickly, and it's broken up. Dietrich Bonner making the play, 2nd and 15.
This is your favorite time to rush the quarterback. Crowd's going nuts. You know it's a pass. Bud Foster's excited. He dialed up another blitz right there. A lot of people get conservative in 2 minutes. No, sir. Go after him.
Did you see the intensity on his face? One of the fine defensive coordinators in college football, Jimbo Fisher. One of the excellent offensive minds in the game. Head to head. Manuel over the middle, has his man. It's complete to Rod Smith. Bonner again on the stop.
On that last play, Jimbo Fisher and the Florida State head coaches were literally on the field trying to get E.J. Manuel's attention, and they couldn't do it. Now, this is a Virginia Tech defense that's given up explosive plays this year because of leverage and bad alignment. You got to make sure that's sound on the back end.
The guy they picked on top of the screen, Fuller, number 17, fired out into the flat, and stretching was Kenny Shaw, hoping to get the ball forward. Tyshawn Jarrett made the stop, and it'll be 4th down, and this could be the ball game for the Seminoles.
3 straight plays, 3 straight blitzes. I mean, they're coming. Just got to make tackles behind him, but they're coming to knock E.J. Manuel off a rhythm, not give him any time. 4th and short.
Lonnie Pryor entering the game. That's the 230-pound fullback who oftentimes carries it in short yardage situations. James Wilder in as well.
Florida State has negative 20 yards rushing tonight. Will they keep it on the ground for this 1 yard? They will. Wilder stays on his feet. What a run by James Wilder Jr. to keep the hope alive for the Seminoles. 1st down. Clock stops to move the chains.
Got some injured Hokies laying on the ground as well here.
There's James Gale. Gale, who's played a marvelous game tonight.
Yeah, not a guy they can afford to miss. You know, we've talked a lot about Bjorn Werner and Tank Carradine. James Gale is a sub-4.5 guy in the 40, one of the elite pass rushers in the ACC. You'll see him at the top of the screen. They try to cut block him. He gets the first contact on the 226-pound tailback.
Yeah, and James Wilder didn't have it. He didn't have the 1st down. He was behind the line of scrimmage. That's a grown man saying, I'm not going to be denied. Great run.
It's the time of the game. You need to have Gale on the field.
And a pretty good time for the first 4th down conversion of the season for the Seminoles. Pressure coming. Manuel gets rid of it. It was just out of the reach of Rodney Smith.
Virginia Tech is going to force E.J. Manuel to get the football out of his hands quickly. Someone's going to have to make a catch and a run. Catch something underneath because Manuel doesn't have time to find somebody deep downfield.
Hopkins can make it from 56. As I mentioned, we saw him in warm-ups make it from 58. If you want to say keep him around that 52 range, which is where he's hit from tonight, Florida State needs 17 more yards.
Manuel hasn't run all night hardly. Might have an opportunity to pick up some scramble yards.
Manuel steps up, throws underneath, has his man, has a 1st down. It's Greg Dent, and Dent is getting very close to the range for Hopkins to make a field goal, but there's time to get close now.
You got 2 timeouts if you're Florida State, so you can take your time. It doesn't have to be hyper mode. Get the right play call so you get your kicker its best shot. Lot of cushion being given to receivers right now.
Inside a minute. E.J. throws it away, 2nd and 10.
Daniel's pass sails out of bounds, incomplete.
So a couple of timeouts could factor in here too. If you get into a 3rd down situation and just want to pick up a few yards for Hopkins, you can still work the middle of the field and use those timeouts.
Isn't Hopkins about to break the NCAA record for scoring for a kicker? Is he getting close?
This This field goal would give him the win, David. He needed 11 points coming into the ninth to pass Kyle Brotzman, former fine Boise State kicker, if in fact he gets an opportunity to try it. Manuel underneath. Green, first down and more. Green on the run. Green may go to the house. Rashad Green, touchdown, Florida State.
Just mentioned a moment ago that Florida State was going to have to make a catch and run. All of the opportunities Virginia Tech's defense was providing them was underneath, over the middle of the field. E.J. Manuel finds his true sophomore receiver who's made some giant plays tonight. And what about that 2-minute drive, guys, by E.J. Manuel?
Fantastic. That's what you want from a senior quarterback. Poised, calm. They converted a 4th down with the run, and then Manuel made the play.
We saw A.J. McCarron do this last week on the road in a hostile environment. E.J. Manuel doing that tonight. There it is, just a simple shallow route underneath.
What? I mean, you complain all the time. As a fan, you always sit back and go, I hate the prevent, I hate the prevent. Bud Foster stayed aggressive right there. You got man coverage on the outside. Big play. You don't even leave it up to the field goal kicker to have an opportunity to make a miss, which Florida State fans are sitting at home going wide right, wide right. That's what they're thinking in their head.
And
live by the blitz, die by the blitz.
And Clemson fans right now are sitting at home, and their hearts are in their stomachs.
Now it's a 4-point edge, so the obvious thing to do is go for 2, at least make it a touchdown, because let's not forget there's still 40 seconds on the clock, and Logan Thomas has had some big plays for Virginia Tech. He'll get a chance. Two-point conversion. Manuel firing, and it's incomplete. It's going to be pass interference, I believe, on Kyshawn Jarrett. He was the man wrapped up on Rodney Smith.
Pass interference. Defense, number 34.
Well, Jarrett was trying to prevent that too. And ball was knocked free.
He almost.
Smith got his
foot's out.
Yeah, his foot's out right there.
Look at that reach at 6'6". That wingspan. Now they bring in some heavy people. Now you can run it if you want to.
How about James Wilder Jr. again? Is he in the game? There he is.
Yeah,
Lined
he
up
is.
in the pistol. Oh, he's in the I formation. There you go.
He's got Lonnie Pryor right in front of him.
Got that 4th and 1 on this drive.
EJ's going to throw it wide open is the tight end O'Leary, and the 2-point conversion is good. Florida State with a 28-22 edge. The Hokies will get it back with 40 seconds to play. So Frank Beamer's team down by 6. Do they have a drive left in them to avoid their 6th loss of the season and spring the upset against the 10th-ranked Seminoles? E.J. Manuel just led a big-time drive. Led Florida State down the field when they were behind by 2 through a touchdown pass to Rashad Green. Manuel with his 3rd 300-yard passing game of the season. He's thrown for 326 and 3 touchdowns. Now the Hokies have 40 seconds to pull it out of the fire. Frank Beamer took over at his alma mater in 1987. In his 6th year, he was 2-8-1. Since that time, he hasn't lost more than 5 games in a season. Unless Virginia Tech can rally with 40 seconds to go, the Hokies are going to fall for the 6th time this year. Speedster Dimitri Knowles won't get a chance, and the Hokies will be 75 yards away from a touchdown.
How about that 22 seconds that Virginia Tech saved for Florida State not to have to hurry up as much and take their time, you know what I'm saying, and let the clock run down a little bit more and not have to put it in hyperspeed mode, and then they make a big play. Now you got 22 extra seconds on the other side.
I was just going to say, it's actually worked out to their benefit.
But FSU would have had to put it in hyperspeed a little bit more, and you don't know what kind of decisions they have to make.
Virginia Tech's now going to need explosive plays. I mean, hard to dink and dunk against this defense, but they are in a prevent.
Thomas taking a shot. He's got Knowles wide open along the sidelines. They're going to confer, and it's
Wow.
a catch. They're saying it's a catch, and with 33 seconds to go, the speedster from the Bahamas picks up 35.
How about this throw from Logan Thomas? That was a laser down the sideline into cover two. I think he got that foot down, guys.
Oh, that was close.
Going to have a look at it.
That left bunion, did it get down?
It was a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
That angle you can't. This might be it.
1 foot is all you need in college.
Yeah, I
Toe
think that's
down.
down.
Does that heel get down out of bounds, though?
Well, can you tell from that angle?
You can't tell, but, I mean, it looks like it's a little bit on line, doesn't it? Or no?
Yeah, I think the question will be whether the toe got down first. And again, indisputable video evidence is the standard to overturn the call.
How about that first play in a 2-minute drive? You know, they always tell you as a coaching staff, if you're a quarterback, to get the 2-minute drive started, you got to get it completion. And generally they mean just complete something easy, get the tempo
Not a
going.
bomb.
That's nice to get a giant chunk right off the bat. You still got 2 timeouts. You know, it's funny, we just talked about prevent defense and how oftentimes it prevents you from winning games.
Yeah.
If you're Mark Stoops now, are you good enough just letting your front four get after Logan Thomas, or do you want to dial up extra pressure yourself?
And he's had no problem putting his corners on an island all night long, and it's been unsuccessful at times, and it's also been successful. So you got Carradine, what's his name?
Carradine. The
Messing it
tank.
up.
Let's call him the tank.
I always call him Tank, but
Here's what we're waiting on. The replay officials looking to see whether Dimitri Knowles got his foot down in bounds on that catch.
Tell you what else, guys, what's nice about this, if you're Virginia Tech, regardless, you're getting basically a free timeout now to put some play calls together. If, in fact, this catch stands,
Be a
gotta
pickup of
generalize a strategy here.
if I could see a little bit more, if you could zoom that in a little bit more, that looks close, man.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Stands.
means no indisputable video evidence to overturn the call. So a pickup of 35 yards.
Wow.
And with 33 seconds to play, the Hokies have it on the 40. Now, you don't have to start taking shots at the end zone.
No
yet.
doubt. Corey Fuller has been making plays over the middle of the field all game long, and against big zone defenses, those are where the biggest holes are in coverage.
Pass rush. Where is it?
Thomas fires, intercepted. A huge play by Tyler Hunter. And Logan Thomas, who played so valiantly for the ninth, took a chance, and Hunter, the sophomore from Valdosta, Georgia, made him pay. Third turnover of the night for Virginia Tech.
They were trying to hit Corey Fuller over the middle of the field in his zone. They moved the pocket, and I think moving the pocket brought Tyler Hunter, the safety, over with him, because as Davey mentioned earlier, you eliminate the side of the field. You see all of the coverage from the side squeezing over, the throw also a little bit behind Corey Fuller.
Florida State's defense didn't come through against NC State when they needed to the most. Tonight, made a big play late when they needed it.
Jimbo Fisher escapes. Florida State's lead in the Atlantic Division will remain intact by virtue of having beaten Clemson head-to-head, and now Wrangler five-star player of the game, Rashad Green, 125 yards receiving, including the game-winning touchdown catch. Florida State had never been held to negative rushing yards in a game. They're finished tonight with -15. But the biggest number they care about is they are +6. And there is Bruce Smith embracing his godson, E.J. Manuel, the quarterback at Florida State, who comes back to his home state and emerges with a victory. What a game, and Florida State with a 28-22 win. SportsCenter coming up next. Andrew Luck against the Jags, a deflated Trojan. The football, literally. Florida State a 28-22 winner over Virginia Tech. Let's go to SportsCenter now.